na 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 na. Hello, 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 hello. It's Dee Dee. Hi, Konnichiwa. I don't know. I just had a song in my heart, and I was like, I'm just gonna hum it as we get going. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Drakan. Hi, Sete. Hi, Ranger. How is everyone? Hello. Oh my goodness. Today wasn't too bad. I posted, I think, on the Discord and also what's the word I'm looking for? Bluesky, but today it was technically the first day with the new job. The new job that I did, like, I didn't do before, didn't want. They just were like, we're closing the apothecary, here's a lateral transfer to another department. Hope it went well. So far, so good. I mean, day one is never an indication of how things are gonna go. Hi, Zan! Your sub didn't renew, it's okay. It's okay. Oh no! But yeah, tomorrow there's supposed to be training, so we'll see. So we'll see how it goes at that point. Today was just like, hey, make sure all of your stuff works. Please update all of your, like, anywhere where it said, like, your job title, your information, all that stuff. Please update it so it fits the new stuff. And just twiddle your thumbs for the rest of the day. It's like technically a transitory period, so it's like I'm half doing new job, half still doing my old job while everything gets up and running. I was like, oh good, because full disclosure, I messaged Iduna last night. I'm like, can I talk? And she's like, yeah, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm scared of this job because they still haven't told me anything about what I'm supposed to do. She's like, are you serious? Like, I just sort of forgot that it was gonna be today. That's the start of the new job, quote unquote, because everything has just been so quiet. Because nothing is technically ready for the people to move into these new jobs yet. So it's like, help, I have anxiety. And she's like, yeah, you suck at doing anything without a plan. So this is just not your thing. It's like, no. It's not my thing at all. Hopefully all will go well in the end. My number one fear was I wasn't gonna sleep last night because I tend to get insomnia when I'm stressed or anxious. But I didn't sleep fantastic, but I did at least get like 5-ish hours. And I'm like, okay, I can work with this. You stay strong? Always do. I always do. Well, where? There. I posted it on the Discord as well. I've got my wrist brace on just temporarily. I've been taking it on and off because my wrist has just been bothering me. I took it off to eat because, you know, you kind of need both hands when you eat, and it was fine for a bit, and then it was like, no. But that's fine, we're playing a visual novel. All I need is to click left button. I could play this with my nose if I wanted to. That's the joy of visual novels. Big problemo? What problemo? Just headpecking the keyboard? It's like that episode of The Simpsons where he got the... what is it? The water bird thing? Where it just keeps pecking the same key over and over, and then there ended up being like a near nuclear meltdown because the bird broke. I was an episode from like, that had to have been the 90s. I just barely remember it. The only problem is big problema to big supporter role. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Oh, I love this game. God. Alright. So we got some folks who haven't been sitting around and hanging out with us during these Raging Loop games. So, Toma! Hello! Thank you for redeeming your potion. Lots of instant popularity today. We love to see it. Do. But yeah, so Raging Loop is what we're playing today. It's a visual novel. Go figure. Alright, uno. Let's get this over here. Do I have to resize it? I think I do have to resize it. Alright, give me 1 sec. So basically, I've been calling this Higurashi without the Higurashi, basically. Very similar premise on paper. Dude from Tokyo ends up in very rural Japanese countryside. He's like, except they are in, well, he says he's a grad student. See, this is part of the problem. Our buddy's an unreliable narrator. His name's Haruaki Fusaishi. Bro's about as unreliable a narrator as you can get. He says he's a grad student, yet he's totally chill with, like, you know, sticking his hands in, like, a decapitated head's mouth and all kinds of stuff. Like, we're just like, okay, buddy, whatever you say. But basically, he was trying to leave town because the reason he ended up in this village was he was taking a bike tour on his motorcycle. He crashed in the wilderness, literally. And so, while trying to fix his bike, these mist roll into town. And now, he's caught up in the weirdest game of werewolf, where all the villagers get together to try and hang who the wolf is. Because if they get it wrong, the wolves will kill another person that night, and etc., etc., etc. So that's about the gist of it. Like, we've barely just gotten started in this story. 1 person has died. Well, okay, no. 4 people, technically. 2 journalists who were in the town to review food. They died by something called the corruption because they did follow the rules of the village and do the proper procedures when the mist came in. What's his name? Konzo. And they went out brutally. Oh yeah, they got turned into tomato paste. Literally. To the point they were like, they had to check to make sure there weren't multiple bodies worth of flesh in those piles, basically. And yeah, so those 2 went out brutally. Kanzo Makishima is the one who was killed by the wolves as part of the ceremony. He had his head just completely crushed. Like, they went to check all the houses, and, like, literally the rest of his body completely fine. His head is just tomato paste. So, you know, that's a good time. And then as they were going to get rid of his body, they found what was left of Yoshitsugu, who's like the local gangster kid. He's literally was torn up into pieces, like scattered all over the frickin' place. Grand old time. He went out horribly. So yeah, those are the deaths so far. For some reason, you imagine the Cube movie. Very close. It's very Saw, very Cube in terms of what's happening to these bodies. Supposedly, the local deity is getting revenge because the humans band together generations ago and killed it, kind of thing. But obviously, there's probably something else going on as well, or who knows? Maybe it's maybe it is actually supernatural. We'll find out. It's too early to say for sure. But yeah, that's the gist of it. If I remember anything else that's relevant to anyone's understanding, I will share. But oh yeah, so so it's called Raging Loop because our buddy is like Subaru from ReZero, and he resets when he dies. But he's only reset once so far, so he doesn't really realize he has resetting powers. He's like, wow, I just had like a really weird, fucked up dream where I got like torn to pieces by a wolf. Huh, that was weird anyway. But because he didn't follow the rules of preparation, he technically is not allowed to take part in the feast, which is where like the meeting where everyone gets together to vote on who they think is the wolf to hang. Can't, yeah. So that's the gist. So they what's the word I'm looking for? So because of that, he didn't die like he was quote unquote supposed to. Because I guess if you don't follow the rules, the whole idea is the mountain god's supposed to destroy you via the corruption, which is what happened to 3 of the other people who died. So the fact that Haruaki survived already implies there's more human involvement in this than they want us to think. So yeah, when the meetings happen, he has to go away. So the first time they locked him in a cage? Because I guess, I don't know, I don't know why they had to lock him in a cage. I guess they just didn't want him going around exploring the village or something. I don't know. And this time they gave him access to an apartment that was like empty, so he can quote unquote shelter properly like he's supposed to. So they were like, just go there and get someone to bar the door from the outside so you don't leave. It's like, okay. So that's where we left off. They're about to have a meeting without him. And this time, they should hopefully decide on who to hang, but based on the foreshadowing, it's gonna be a wasted choice. They wasted the first day because they decided not to hang anyone, so the wolves were able to act with no problemos. And if they pick a really stupid choice today, then yeah. There we go. House arrest. This game's doesn't have a ton of music and audio, but there should be some at certain points. So if you hear absolutely nothing at any point, let me know, but it should be okay. Eventually, everyone gathered and went to the hall. Just as I was told, I asked for them to lock me in my room. After getting everyone, including Takumi-san and Tai-san, to understand, Yasunaga, Chiemi, and I went to the dorm.
知恵ね、窓から枝に飛べる？
You think he can jump from the window to the branches? You're that worried I'm gonna leave. No way. Even if he made it down, he couldn't get back. The two verified how secure a place this was to lock me up in. If they were the wolves, it'd be impossible to outwit them. Humans stood no chance. Anyway, we're locking you in. We'll come open it up if we have the time, but you might end up staying like this until morning. Alright, fine by me. It's gonna be hard, but I hope you do well. If we have the time. Yeah, cause, remember, as soon as the sun sets, they're supposed to lock themselves up as well. So so it's already past noon? Because they spend all that time looking for Haru? Haru being one of the teenagers in the village. She just decided she was gonna try and run away, and so they had to go and find her. So, depending how long it takes them to decide who they're gonna hang, they might not have enough time to come back and get him before they have to lock themselves up to avoid the wolves themselves. Just give me food, water, games, and you're chilling. Well, apparently, he does have his phone, but there's no service, apparently. So, I don't know. Unless he has, like, you know, Tetris on his phone or, like, something that's, you don't need an active data connection for, I don't think he's got any games. Plus, do you think this guy would play games? I don't think this guy plays games. He probably doesn't even read books. I'm more worried about you. Wow, isn't that nice? I'll do my best. I love Chiemi. My girl. All done? We're locking you in then. 128 gigabytes of game on your phone, but do they all need a data connection? Damn! Don't bring that up. Yeah, you be careful too, Yasunaga-kun. You're now your mother's only child. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Mr. Insensitive. It's been 2 hours since they found this guy's younger brother in pieces. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, you be careful. Remember, your brother's dead and your mom's lost her marbles from grief. You better not make things worse. Sigh. And so the door closed. I could hear them set up the stick. So far, the only ones I've talked to face to face were Chiemi, Takumi-san, Mochi, and Yasunaga-kun. Just 4. Did you talk to Kaori? The lady who runs the diner, technically? She gave you water. Oh, I guess he's talking about in particular in regards to the rituals and what's going on in the situation. He's only talked to these 4 recently since all of this started, I guess. The ones I hadn't talked to were Tae Yamawaki, Rikako Uematsu, Meiko, Kaori Oribe, Haru Makishima, Kiyonosuke no Sato, the old wolf guy. A whole 7. Yeah, there's an old man who, they thought he was senile, but he seems to have some wits about him. But he's so old, no one remembers his name anymore, and most of the time, all he says is, Okami ga kuru. So the wolf is coming. I had no idea if there was significance in that, but I wanted to know what kind of people they all were. 4 people had already died, and if you ignored me, there were 11 left. Yeah, there's only 15 people in this village. It's the place where, like, the town up at the mountain sends all the people they want to ostracize and outcast. It's crazy. Once the snake revealed what Kiyonosuke was, he and the snake, Takumi-san. So the snake is one of the roles in this quote-unquote mafia game. The snake can determine whether or not someone is a wolf. The crow can determine if the person who was hanged was a wolf or not. There are 2 monkeys. They have no powers other than the fact that they're not wolves and they're not humans, and they know who the other monkey is. And the spider can stop the wolves from killing 1 person per night. When 1 was hanged, there'd be 8, and when 1 died in the night, there'd be 7, which was still quite a lot. They had to hurry before it was too late. The humans had to act now. Hello? Whoa, what? The supposedly fixed door slightly opened. It was Chemi. I forgot, but I might not get to give you your dinner, so have this at least. She threw me a yellow food box, the kind you could find in any convenience store. Thanks, seriously. Did she give him, oh my god, was it Calorie Mate? Like, literally just like the blocks of nutrients that are just literally just calories. I'm pretty sure those are yellow boxes. Oh, by the way. What? Tell the monkeys to reveal themselves. Why? Think about it. You'll understand, and you know you have to do something before it's too late. Yeah, they have to very quickly narrow down the suspects. So if the monkeys reveal themselves, that's 2 less people who could be wolves. There's no time. Go. Yeah, okay. She closed the door and put the stick back. Alright, what next? Haru-chan, is your wound alright? Oh yeah, so this guy on the far right is Mochi. The girl in the middle is Haru. So the whole deal with Mochi is apparently he used to be the heir apparent to a rich family, but he was too weird. So they sent him here to middle of nowhere, but because of that, he's dirt poor. The only clothes he owned, he's cross-dressing? Technically not. So here's what's up with him. So the only thing he had to wear was his school uniform because literally they sent him here with nothing but the clothes on his back. And he was fine with that. But the old lady, Tai, was pissed that he was always just wearing his school uniform. So the only other person in the village who's close to his size, to his build, is Haru. So he borrowed her clothes, and that's why he's wearing the dress. He doesn't care. And I mean, I'm sure he'd be pleased that it would probably piss off the elders that he's quote-unquote cross-dressing. Because he's that type of person. So it's like, technically, he'd be, like, I don't consider it cross-dressing because he's not dressing up with the intention to dress like a girl. He's just wearing whatever clothes fit him, and he just doesn't care. He has the correct idea that clothing should not be gendered. So he's like, whatever, man. Look at the bow. He's like, well, it's cute, so why not? That's literally what he said, so. But no. Haruaki literally asked him, I'm like, he's like, are you uncomfortable with your gender? He's like, no. These were just the only clothes that fit me, and it's cute, so. Which, I mean, all the power to him. He's like, whatever. Because, yeah, the only two other teenage boys in this, like, village are Yasunaga and then his younger brother, who is basically the same build as him. So the boy's uniform that he's been wearing is already huge on him. So he's probably borrowing one of the ones from, like, the other boys. But for this, he just borrowed Haru's clothes. You do you. Yeah, you do you. Like, I mean, who cares? Like, to me, like, I just shrug it off because I remember, oh, what is it called? I don't know if they came up with a better term for it, but there used to be, like, Brolita, which are, like, boys who wore Lolita dresses at conventions and stuff like that. So I'm just always like, whatever. You like cute frilly things and you want to wear a dress and you're, like, 1000% a dude? You do you, man. You can fit in that dress? Good on you. It's fine. I know it's not a good time to ask, but what happened? It was pretty bad, I'll tell you that much. Whatever. Let's just start. And the conspicuous gaps where people have died. Everyone had a drink? Let's begin the feast of the Yomi Purge. Let's get to it. Takumi-ni, did the snake's power work last night? Yeah. It did. Well, tell us. Kyo is the human. Of course, I'm no wolf. That means Muro and I are no longer suspects, right? It does. Let's look at what we have to decide today. If we continue based on the late Kanzo Makishima-shi's decisions... Hold on, why are you taking the lead? I don't mind if the eldest Yamawaki-san wants to take over. I'm no good at that. In that case, it's only natural that myself and Muro, adults confirmed to be human, should be the ones to lead. Takumi-ni! He's annoying, you lead. No, Kyo, keep going. He's still shocked from the elder's death. No need to force him. But I will do everything I can in his place. Muro, you console Madame Oribe. Oh, yeah, she's just here in body, not spirit. Here's my proposal. Let's do whatever we can to choose and hang someone today. Hold on, that's too reckless. But it's necessary. If we don't, the wolves will eventually kill the last human. Exactly. We'll have to harden our hearts if we want to survive the feast. Am I wrong, Yamawaki-san? Oh, you're right. The only beetle must be Hun. Ah, yes, the nursery rhyme. What if we make a mistake? Even if we keep it secret, we'll have to live with the guilt of having killed someone. Hi, Zero! It's true that it would be unpleasant, but such deaths wouldn't be in vain. What the hell? If we killed the wrong person, their deaths would be pointless. That's obvious. Damn. What a jerk. Watch your words when talking to your superiors. Listen, for now, we only have 2 surefire ways to get rid of suspects. Surely you understand, Yasunaga-kun. Yes, the snake's power. Or killing someone and lowering the total number, huh? I know that, but do you really think we can all agree on someone? We can't do that. Do you think the one who gets killed cares which side wins? That's right. We need to reach a consensus here. We need to agree that if the others survive, I don't mind dying. Well, it's war, I guess. Is that seriously all we have? Yes, that's all we have. The laws of the mountain remain merciless. What the hell? I'm not getting hanged for someone else's sake. Oh, that would make you a wolf, wouldn't it? What? You have yeah. You have no intention to put your life on the line for Yasumizu, and that makes you Yasumizu's enemy? Is that what you're saying? You're missing snacks, but hey, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what the dot is for, but if it's because no one responded for a while, if people don't want to answer, let them just chill out. We're all here to enjoy the story, after all. You have no intention to put your life on the line for Yasumizu, and that makes you Yasumizu's enemy. Is that what you're saying? It's the frickin' trolley problem, except you have to choose to throw yourself in front of the trolley. You sure seem to be enjoying yourself. I mean, they still can decide to hang you, bro. Just because you're proved to be a human doesn't mean they can't just decide to get rid of you. There's no rule saying you can't hang someone once you know they're not a wolf. I'm only giving advice as someone from Kami Fujiyoshi and as one whose suspicions were lifted. Be silent. Kiyonosuke no Sato-san, you were quiet about this until the snake looked into you, right? What are you getting at? You already knew we had to be unified and accept death if it was necessary, didn't you? But you also knew that staying quiet would have made the snake's power way more popular, so you stayed quiet. That's just an assumption! She's right though. A Kami Fujiyoshi guy who's no longer a suspect is telling us to die and be okay with it. As if we can just accept that. What a pushover. We vote the guy in the glasses, the old one, but we know he's not a wolf, so it would be a waste to hang him. It would just be for our self-satisfaction. Rikako-san, he's like, wait, you're from Kami Fujiyoshi too. You're not supposed to be okay with this. As I said before, in this situation, Kami Fujiyoshi and Yasumizu are irrelevant. Not to mention, I know it might be impudent of me, but I believe myself to be part of Yasumizu. Oh, look at that! A respectable attitude. Something a certain someone doesn't have. However, I do think that expecting that of this girl would be a bit much. Yeah, just tell the 7-year-old to be okay with the... But we have no choice. There can be no exceptions. No matter how much you don't like someone, you shouldn't wish ill on them. But I know. He's not a likable dude. But at least in this circumstance, he's not a murderer. There's no longer even a chance that he's a murderer, unless, like, Moro is lying, so... Then, if you decide to hang her, I shall go with her. What? But you mustn't! We only need the blood of one per day! I just have to die of my own volition. The corruption comes only for the sinner. If I'm already dead, then it no longer matters. But you're being a pain, Kyo. If you're gonna lead, do it right. And you, Uematsu? Think about what you're saying. Sorry. But you're ahead of Kami Fujiyoshi, one of our oppressors. Takumi, don't be rude to Uematsu-sama. See? You people are the reason why Bachan got so scared. Don't act like you're one of us. My sincerest apologies. Damn, for a dude who was like, I don't want to take the lead at all, he is sure taking the lead. And why are you and Yasumizu anyway? Honestly, I'm inclined to just start leveling accusations at this point. I mean, if this is a man-made event, it would be Kami Fujiyoshi's fault. Who knows? Maybe not all of it. But their efforts to keep us here show that they know something is up, don't they? At the very least, I really can't believe some guys who think the feast is an old wives' tale and that the wolves are really on the human side. They knew that the people of Yasumizu would die if the mist came. They deprive us of not only our prosperity, but even our lives. I mean, you could have just left before the mist came. Like, why did you... Because that's the thing I don't get, right? They were all exiled here by the Kami Fujiyoshi people. And they just were like, okay, cool. We'll just live in this settlement of 4 houses. That's fine. Y'all could have walked off the mountain. Like, is there a law that says the mountain god? If you're born on the mountain, you must die on the mountain or something like that? Because Chiemi, the girl in the back with the green jacket, she went to university for 3 years. Like, she left and came back. So clearly you can just leave if you wanted to. Like, y'all are... All these people are just... For whatever reason, they didn't leave. Slander? Well, it's not exactly slander. It's the age where science reigns supreme. Of course they don't believe in some old superstition. Then why are you guys playing a werewolf, huh? Isn't that the reason why? What do you mean? They didn't tell you all the secrets Fujiyoshi had to offer. That's because your only value to your family is your belief that the family heads are upstanding people, and that you don't shut up about it. RIP! Isn't that why they forced you to stay in the Nosato mansion when you returned, despite all the dangers here? Are you saying your family abandoned you? Yes! Striking bro where it hurts? It's justified. He just told them all, they should just be okay with dying. Now that, like, you know, now that it's clear he's not gonna have to die. Everyone else should be willing to die for him, is basically what he's been saying. Hey, that seems possible. You're like Yasun and I. The heads are cruel. Those who lose a struggle for power, those deemed incapable, or simply those who dislike the ones in charge can simply be sent here. Damn. Yeah, that's messed up. Our situation is one thing, but Mom, she came all the way from Tohoku and married into the Higuchi family, but got thrown out the moment Dad died. I didn't care about that. Mom, sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay, anyway, there's no doubt that they twisted our fates. I agree with Takumi Ni on that. Too bad you're stuck here too, huh? I'm not blaming Yasumizu's people. What's gotten into you? We're all gonna die anyway. Ochi-chan was acting all tough, but even he died so easily. I can't take this this? Why didn't you just leave me there? Hmm? You weren't like this back then. What's wrong? I've just had enough. How sad. What's wrong? Still can't get over how he died? Oh, the crushed head? Yeah. When wolves come, everyone becomes demons. That they do. That's why we need to hang the Yomibito. Had this chew like a whoopee cushion. You're not wrong. What a mess. Whatever, at least we know that Kami Fujiyoshi's people won't come and save us. Yeah, the road was blocked. That's one reason. Anyway, I do think we should trust Kyo now. My reason's the same as Chiemi's. Oh dear, how sad. Think what you want. Anyway, when we have to hang someone, Uematsu is the easiest target. Keep acting like that and you'll be dead in no time. Bro, did they just say we should do everything to avoid voting who to hang based on who we dislike? Then what should I? Just be honest and tell us what you know. Keeping quiet is the worst, and letting others take care of it won't do either. Why not just take control of the feast? I just tried acting like the old man. That ain't me. I'll leave the rest to you. Ugh. I don't have much left to say. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, that's too reckless. Of course, you are free to argue your case, especially if you can prove you're more valuable alive. However, I don't want to hear any "I'm human" or "I don't want to die" non-arguments. Dog, this is messed up. Well, hang at the hanging pine? That should do the job. How do we vote? We'll start with the elders. You can have brief interviews too. When the voter decides, I'll record it in my notepad. Huh? It's not anonymous? No way! We'll be telling people to die straight to their faces. The old lady gives you a really bad feeling? Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's the old guy. He's been old when I was still young. Damn, how old is he then? Like, if she's 70? And he was already like 50? He's like 120. Bro, you can't hate the octogenarian. It's like when you have a teacher who taught your parents. Oh god, yeah. Huh? Me? Why? Jesus.
ちょっと待ってよ。本気でこんないい加減な決め方で人を殺すつもり？
仕方ないだろう。ご老人だって宴の参加者だ。発言権を奪うわけにはいかん。
We have no choice. He's a participant. We can't deny his rights.
たくみ姉ちゃん、なんとか言ってよ。
安永、お前どう思う？様子を見ます。
Wait and see?
だな。
Damn.
ちょっと、そんな。
Wait, are you really?
じゃあ、私だね。私もちーちゃんに入れようかしら。
なんで？ハエばあちゃん。
悪いね。実はあんまりわからんのよ。じゃが、ちーちゃんがずっと怒っとるのがちょっと変に思え
Oh,
てね。
no way. She's the outsider, so they're getting rid of her.
他の皆が生き残るために自分が死んでも構わない。
そうね。私は同意しないわ。休みずのみんなは大事だけど、自分の命だって大事だもん。
I hear that, but I won't agree. Yasumi's people are important to me, but so is my life.
それに私は自分が狼じゃないって知ってるし、おとなしく殺される気にはならない。けど、
This is why the monkeys are supposed to reveal themselves.
いいわ。そのルールに乗る。このままだとそれだけで殺されそうだし、他に方法もないのは確か。
Sure, I'll follow the rules. If I keep this up, I'll just get killed, not to mention we don't have any better options.
さあ、タイばあちゃん。ちえみはおとなしくなるよ。投票。
どうしようかな。
God.
じゃあいいや。さっきはちえみ。
You know what? Fine. It was my own fault for acting weird.
よろしいかね。ではムロの番だ。
俺はメイコに投票する。
Damn!
たくみ兄ちゃん。あなたは。
It's like, get rid of the outsiders.
理由を言う必要あるか。いくら子供でも。
Just Among Us, but with shapeshifters? No, it's werewolf slash mafia, silly. Which, and Among Us is based off of werewolf slash mafia. This format is one of the oldest games out there. It long predates video games.
伝説がどこまで本当かは知らねえが、奇妙なもんが皿長から上がってくるな。
I don't know how true the legends are, but if something fishy comes from Saranaga, it's only fair to think she's fishy too.
匠にそんな話が通るなら、こんな面倒な宴が成立する必要なんてなかったんじゃないのかな。
Takmini, if that's how it worked, what would be the point of this bothersome feast?
僕もそういう決め方ができる気はしないんだけどな。
I don't think we should decide based on that either.
皿長から来なくったって、素性不明の怪しさは何も変わらねえよ。逆に考えてみろ。もし子供が狼。
Even if she did come from Saranaga, we still don't know who or what she is. Think about it this way. What if this little girl really was a wolf?
今のお前らみたいに子供だからかわいそうって理由で対処しなきゃ。
If we all just ignored her because she's just a kid, she'd kill us all. Do you get that?
ムロもそれなりに考えているということだな。では、オリベ夫人。
島春さんに。
母さん。
なんで
Damn.
私なんですか。
Why me?
に言ってごらんなさいな。どうして今日逃げたりなんてしたのか。おじいさんを殺して義継を殺して気まずくなったからじゃないの。
I mean, I saw this coming, but...
違います。
No, that's not it!
じゃあ言ってごらんなさい。怖かったから。こんなとこにいたくなかったから。
Because I was scared! I didn't want to stay here!
嘘をおっしゃい。
香織さんやめろ。あいつが死んでみんなつれえんだ。俺だってそうだ。春だってそうだ。
I mean, good reasoning, yes, but it is also reasonable that she did run away because she's scared. Because as far as... Because Mochi talked about it, that Haru's been a coward ever since she was little, and she's scared of everything. So the second this kind of shit starts happening, that's the first person who either runs away or kills himself. Like,
みんな
all of us hurt.
堀部さんは結局投票先をどうするのかね。ではマキシマハルのままとしよう。
Alright, Haru Makishima it is. What a great way to turn everyone against each other by doing this vote publicly. Because even if Haru doesn't get hanged, she's never gonna trust this woman again.
私は本名不詳のご老人に。
I'm voting for the nameless old man.
どういう理由で？
But why?
先ほどの応答で分かった。彼は理性的な判断を行っていない。
Literally getting rid of him just because he's not useful. What a waste.
そんな一方的な。
彼が事前に狼が来るなどと吹聴していた。疑うに十分な事実も一方的というかね。
I mean, okay, see, the wolf thing is better reasoning than he's not rational.
私は彼が完全に狂っているか。
I think he's either completely insane or secretly knows something.
考えなかったかね。ヤスミスでは過去にも宴は行われているはずなのだ。
Have you ever considered that there were feasts before this one? He should have been around for at least one.
私はないですよ。70なるまで。
But I haven't, and I'm over 70.
でも彼ならあり得るのでしょ。
But he could have no. He's older than you after all.
彼は何かを知っていて、司法のためにうまく言えないのかもしれないし、悪意的にごまかしているのかもしれない。
He could know something, but might be unable to say it because of I cannot speak today. Senility. Or might be hiding it out of malice. With this vote, I might be able to get info out of him, and if not, he's worthless.
この場における価値のあるなし。そんな理由で人をくくるのは。
Is it truly right to hang people based on where they have worth at that particular moment? No, but like at this point in time, if he's not gonna further their cause, it's somewhat understandable. You say that, but if we continue, we will make more progress tomorrow.
どういうことでしょう。
What do you mean?
今日、室にまた一人、過去によって素性を調べさせれば、素性の知れた者はもう一人増える。
Today, Muro will use his power to investigate someone. We'll know the truth about another person.
雲は引き続き室を守る。これを繰り返せば、たとえ全部外しても、3回で全員の素性が
The spider will once again protect Muro. By repeating this, it'll only take 3 times to know who's a wolf and who's not, even if we guess wrong.
そうなるの？一日に一人くくって、一人狼にやられて、一人蛇って明らかになるなら、一日に3人正体が明らかになる。今、匠兄ちゃんと野里さんの他11人。
Yeah, we'll find out about 3 people in one day, and since all of the 11 besides Takumi, Nichan, and Nosato-san are unknown, and that's why Haruaki said, get the monkeys to show themselves.
3、4回か？
そういうことだ。くくるのを選ぶのは3回だけでいい。それならば、あえて親しいものを率先してくくらずとも、縁の薄いものから先に
Damn.
のために立っても
With
らえ
that
れ
in
ば
mind,
いい
if you don't want to hang those close to you, you should start with those who aren't. It's for the good of Yasumizu.
私は最大多数の最大幸福を論じている。
I'm arguing to maximize the happiness of the majority, Muro.
野里さん、本気で言ってるんですか？
Nosato-san, are you serious?
何？
What?
DNA の計算は狼が蛇で調べられていない人間ばかりを バカ正直に狙った場合
TA
の話です
math,
よ
TNA's math only works if the wolves only kill people the snake hasn't checked.
狼が前日に正体が確定した相手ばかり殺しにかかったらどうするんです
What if they only went after those whose identities were already confirmed? For example, what if they went for you tonight?
そんないい加減な計算をもとにいい加減な投票をさせようって考え
I don't think I can agree with voting based on such a flawed conclusion. The monkeys!
それにしたって君は身内を殺
D-
すことを
don't you think you're being too easy on the idea of killing your own?
僕はだから身内を殺せる
I haven't said anything about killing my own. I'd never say that, I.
ああ
まあ少々間違いがあったかもしれんが投票はもう進んでいる
Well, there were some mistakes there, but we're already voting. I'm leaving your decisions to you.
次は植松里香子さんではないのか
席順から言えば僕ですね困ったな判断材料が少ない
なんでそんなに冷静なの
Why are you so calm?
冷静でないと
I'll make a mistake otherwise.
だから
That's why
はるちゃんも母さんも
you and mom should calm down, please.
僕は
I.
ヤスくん
Hold on, Yasukan.
こんな時で悪いんだけど一つ
Sorry to cut you off,
ことがあるんだけど
but I just had an idea.
何
猿って名乗り出てもいいんじゃない
Finally! Can the monkeys reveal themselves?
なぜそんなことを言うカゴ持ちは名乗り出ない方がいいと
Why would they?
安永君も
Yasunoko-kun and Sir Makishima said it'd be best if they don't present themselves.
いや私もそうやって何も考えずにいたんだけどじゃあ
Well,
猿
I was
って何て言
thinking
って
the same thing at first, but what's the point of the monkeys then?
お互いのことがわかるだけなんでしょ
They just know who the other monkey is, right? It's not like they get any new info later.
そうだね使い道って言ったら蛇を語るやつを引っ
That's
掛けられ
true.
るくらい
The only use I can think of for them is catching fake
だ
snakes.
けど考えてみれば猿は
But
互
they
い
can
に証明
confirm who the other monkey is.
ある意味で蛇に調べられたのと同じくらい狼じゃないって信頼
So
で
they
きる
can be confirmed as non-wolves just as easily as those investigated by the snake, right?
嘘ついたやつがいたら
Both of them?
リスクが高すぎる
Lying would be too risky.
例えば私は猿じゃないけどはい私猿です
For example, I'm not a monkey, but if I went, hello, I'm a monkey, what would you do?
もう一人が誰か言ってみろ
I'd say, tell me who the other one is.
そうでも誰も言えない嘘だからそれでも例えば
Now, for example, if I said, alright, it's Mochi, then
なんでわかったんだ
いや冗談はいいからまあ証明できないわけだよね
don't joke around. Well, I can't prove it, can I?
なるほどだが相手が乗った場合は
But what if he played alone because he thought being a monkey would make him safe?
本物の猿に名乗り出てもらってその4人からくくっていく
And then we'd hang all four, one after another to be sure.
それは
That's
嘘をついてまで生き残ろうとするのは狼その原則ならばそうするのが
the rule of thumb is that only wolves would try to lie to survive, so that's the right thing to do, isn't it?
確かにそうだその方針をきちんと立ててさえいればあえて
That's
猿
true.
を語ろうと
Once
す
you
る者は
clarify
いな
that
くなる
that's what would happen, you shouldn't get anyone pretending to be a monkey.
そうか人にとっても狼にとっても危険すぎて
I
やる
see.
価値がない
It's too dangerous for both humans and wolves. It's just not worth it.
これわからない人いる
Does everyone understand?
いないみたいだねなら名乗り出てくれないかな
Looks like it then.
これで2人
Please name yourselves. We'll lose 2 suspects.
はいは
Right here!
もっち
What? What is it, Mochi?
いいや
I'm saying that I'm a monkey.
さっきの続きじゃなくて
You're not just dragging out the joke? The big guy is the strongest. Oh, Mudo? Yeah, he's kind of a pushover though, but yeah.
うんイエス僕は猿だ
Yes, yep, I'm a monkey.
じゃあさっき言った通りだ
So like we agreed, who's the other monkey?
メイコちゃんだ
Meiko-chan!
メイコちゃん、そうなの？
Is that true?
あのね、昨日の日に起きたら
When you woke up, was there something on your stomach? There was! A monkey!
知ってるんだ。
She knows the symbols?
信頼モーデと一緒に
Yes, I taught them to
教えて
her.
遊ばせていました。
Alongside prayer to Shinai.
他に猿だって人
We have any other monkeys?
いないっぽい？
Does it look like it?
じゃあ
That confirms it.
そっか。じゃあ、
I see.
間違いない。
So they really are monkeys. So that just leaves out. So, Muro, guy in orange, snake. Guy with the bolo tie, human. Old man wolf, unknown. Tae, old lady, unknown. Coyote, unknown. Yasunaga, unknown. Monkey, Chie, unknown. Well, I guess Chie is also unknown. She says she's a human, though. Unknown, unknown. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 people. And they have to find 2 wolves. The odds are still much better now. Ah!
なんだ。じゃあ俺の投票は無駄だ。
Crap, so I wasted my vote.
やり直してもいいと思う。
I think you should be given a do-over.
やり方を曲げる気か？
You want to bend the rules?
一度投じた票の撤回は不可能とした方がいい。土壇場で嘘をついてリセット。
It's best to make it impossible to retract votes. We'd have too many people trying to change their vote at the last minute.
しゃあねえな。
Ah, good point. Fine.
突然言い出してごめんね。
Sorry about interrupting. Back to Yasukun.
僕は狼じじいに一票入れる。理由は黙っているだけで何もしない。
I'll vote for the old wolf man. My reason is that I think staying silent and doing nothing indirectly helps the
じ
wolves.
ゃあ次は僕だ。タエバーに100万票。
A million votes on Taiba!
なんじゃって？
一人一票だ。
じゃあタエバーに1票。知恵姉にいきなり1票入れた。目の付け
Then
どこ
one
ろが
vote for
怪しいもんな。
Taiba. I found it weird how she just voted for Chie Ne out of nowhere.
何言うんかねこの子は。だから若いもんはいい加減でろくでなしで。
Why are you so pissed? It's only fair.
次は確か
Oh, I'm next. Alright.
おじいちゃんに一票。
One vote for the old guy. Damn.
なんだ。結局君もそれか。
The old guy's like, oh fuck. Like this may blow up in my face.
黙ってて。理由は現状で他に怪しいと思える人がいないって。
My reason is I don't have any better ideas right now. Next.
私は植松さんに入れるわ。あなたがきっと
I'll vote for
汚れを呼び寄
Uematsu-san.
せたんだ。
You have to have been the one who brought the corruption.
違います。私はただ
No.
己の役目を果
I'm
たした。
only here to fulfill my role.
じゃあとっとと汚れを引き取ってよ。そうしないのはあなたが狼だからでしょ。
Just do that and take in the corruption. You're not doing that because you're a wolf, aren't you?
様、いい加減にしろ。
Watch it.
力不足で
I cannot disagree.
返す言葉もありません。
I'm powerless.
あなたもこんな連中にかかずらう必要はない。リカコさんの番ですよ。きっとあなたに投じた人が怪しい。
And now he's like, you should vote for her. You should totally vote for her. You don't have to humble yourself before these people.
ろくでもないことを
Ugh, listen to this guy.
私は織部安永さんに
I will vote for Yasunaga Oribe-san.
あなたは
Oh boy.
私は疑っているわけではありません。
I do not find him suspicious. But I just had a thought.
今この場で
There would be
もし狼様である
no
と考え
worse possible occurrence than were he to be a wolf.
いろいろ喋りましたからね。皆さんを騙すためにそうしたって思われて。
I did say a lot. I can't blame you for thinking I'm just tricking people.
ただ僕は間違ったことは言ってない
But I don't think I said anything wrong.
そのつもりはない。
At least, I did intend to.
上松さんの投票されるのは構いません。意思表示のために投票するのも大事なことだと思いますから。
Oh god, my stomach! I don't know if the mic picked that up. I'm sorry if it did. You're too Dunkin' brained. I can't help you there. I'm sorry. But yeah, more so than whether or not he said anything wrong, I think the fact that he's so smart would be really bad if he was the wolf. How was the watch along? It was good! As for how the game works, Zero, have you ever played Werewolf / Mafia / Among Us? It's exactly like that. They're trying to find the two wolves before, Werewolf, yes. Then it's the exact same thing. They're trying to find the wolves before they kill everyone. But what do you do then? As a player? Yeah. You try and figure out, you try and figure out who the wolves are, and whoever gets voted out, you hang them. Same as Among Us, same as Werewolf, you kill the most suspicious person. It's literally just Werewolf. Made me spit your food out? I'm sorry.
狼じじい氏が3票でトップか。そこの子供、最後は君だ。
Because the wolves can kill one person each night, and the survivors can choose one person to hang each day. And then there are players with different roles. Like one can reveal whether someone is a wolf or not. No, you don't have to guess. We're not guessing. We're just following along with the story. We're not picking anyone. They're trying to figure it out. This is a visual novel. There will be choices at some point, but right now, the character we play as is just an observer. He's not allowed to participate. So we're just the fly on the wall. Meiko, do you understand? I need to choose the wolf. Yes. Her. Me? Wait, seriously? You're scary. I'm scared of you too. Damn, tiebreaker. We need a final vote. The 9 people besides Chami Serizawa and the old wolf man will vote for one of those two. The wolf is coming. Oh boy. The results are in. Two people still voted for her. Damn. Everyone besides Taiba and Meiko voted for the wolf guy. Wow. Tai's really got it in for her. Shut up. Are you ready, sir? We all decided this. Every one of us is secretly guilty. Better get ready, old man. Do you understand? I need time. Huh? Need to clean up. You want to take care of your belongings. I believe we can allow that much.
逃げる気じゃないでしょうね。
What if he's planning to escape?
ハルちゃん
Haru-chan. Then I'll keep an eye on him.
頼むぜ。
You do that. Starting to feel bad? Yeah.
では彼が戻ってき次第皿長への追い立て
As
を
soon as he
行う
returns, we will take him to Saranaga.
縄はどこへ
Rikako-san? Where is the rope?
こちらへ。
Right here. Yeah. Oh. Poor Chiemi, though. She left the village for 3 years, and now all the people are like, yeah, we don't like her. Let's get rid of her. Sheesh. It was already evening. As I whiled away the time with some fruitless contemplation, I heard noises outside that brought me back to reality. Hi, Chris! People were shouting loudly.
どうした
What's wrong? I opened the window and shouted. It was facing the cliff, so I couldn't shout to the settlement directly. They probably didn't hear me since I didn't get a response. God damn it. Shout out the mailbox then!
何があった
What happened? So I shouted even louder.
最終てめえそこ動くんじゃねえぞ
Did the old man actually try and run? Huh? Was I about to get punched?
何があったんですか
What happened? I could only repeat myself.
今危ないんです
It's dangerous right now. It
どういう
was?
ことなんですか
What do you mean? I didn't get a reply this time. I only heard several voices clamoring. Then I heard someone hurry up the dorm stairs.
誰だ
Who's there? I got no response again. What was happening here? Someone was definitely close. It just made me more tense.
春秋さん。
また知恵み落ちか
Wow, Jimmy yet again? What a twist!
何それ。悪いけど今じっとしてて。ひょっとしたらやばいかも。
What's that supposed to mean? Sorry, but you should stay here. This might be really bad. Her voice was cut off by a scream. Though it was more like intense cursing. It was Takumi-san's voice, no doubt about it. Chiemi left without saying another word. The old man did try and run, didn't he? Oh, God.
えちょっと開けてよ
Huh? Hold on! Open up! I fought the door, but it showed no signs of opening.
何かあったなら僕
I can help! Damn it! Shit! Like hell, I was gonna stay out of the loop any longer. Oh, God! Dude was not about to take it laying down. Apparently not, assuming that's what's happening. Turning around, I went to the open window and decided to try jumping out. Bro, this is the second story! Your legs! It'd make my legs a little numb, but so what? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't break your legs. A little numb, sure. Yeah. God. Man, I've jumped down. Like, it so numb they aren't there anymore. Literally, just roll. It'll be fine. Look, if he tucks and rolls properly, yes, he would be fine. Does this guy know how to do that, though? Because literally, I've jumped from, like the height of a brick wall before when I was younger. And I was young. And like, yeah, sure, my legs were numb, but it hurt so freaking bad. I didn't break or sprain anything, but holy shit, it hurt. And that was just a brick, and that was just like, you know, a brick wall that's like 5 feet tall. Like, you know, one of the ones you can definitely climb over. 2 stories? It hurts for real? It really does. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That's why it's like, sure, if he tucks and rolls properly. There used to be a trend here in town to jump off a 12-feet wall. Oh, God. How's all the hairline fractures doing? But yeah, if he tucks and rolls properly, he'll be fine. And or if he makes it to the tree somehow. But I don't think this dude is that athletic. I jumped out without any hesitation. Oh, dear Lord. I properly bent my knees so I didn't hurt myself at all. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Whoever wrote this has never jumped out of a 2-story window before. What the frick? Bro's frickin' Spider-Man. One story people came in with cast out to elbow that. Yeah, literally. I mean, the only thing I can think of that might have helped Haruaki versus possibly other people is the fact that since this is the countryside, he would have been jumping into grass and or like vegetation kind of thing, so that would have been less of a shock to his bones than if he jumped and landed on concrete. Maybe he's ex-military or something, knows some trick. It's starting to look like that, because bro, you trying to tell me some science? Like, a grad student from Tokyo who spends all his time in a lab knows how to jump out of a 2-story window and not hurt himself. Like, come on. I call shenanigans. But I mean, this is also a story, so like, whatever. Suspension of disbelief, but I'm like, I quickly understood the cause of Takumi-san's shouting. They were cries of despair. Oh no, what happened? The reason was somewhere downhill along the way to the graveyard. It was a small grove of low trees with a carpet of leaf mold below. It would have been hard to see even if there was no mist. You could hear running water nearby. I couldn't see where it came from, but it was probably an irrigation channel for the paddy fields. There was a small crowd gathered. I peeked through a space between them. There were bodies. 2 of them. One was of an old man and the other was that of a child. Though their appearances were vastly different, each was in a similar state. They lay on the ground with their hands over their stomachs, utterly still, and covered in blood. What is going on? I don't know. These... Who killed Chica? Was the corpses of the old man and Chica? Unless Chica decided to commit suicide with the old man or something? Combo? No kidding. Oh god. Why? What happened?
さっきまでいま
I
した。
was until now.
嘘つけ。てめえがやったんだろ。あ？
What the fuck is wrong with you? Huh? No, I'm not. I just came out of the dorm. I even talked to Chiami-chan.
ちえみちゃん、
Yeah.
さんじゃないよ。
It's not Haruaki-san.
じゃあ誰がやったんだ。
Then who did this?
そんなことより手当ては
Forget that. We need to treat.
無駄だ。触んじゃねえ。
手当てをすれば間に合うかもしれ
We
ない。
might still make it.
血はすっかり全部抜けてやがる。腹かっさばかれて。
Oh
腹が
god.
抜けてやがる
So it was seppuku.
どんな手当てすりゃ生き返るってんだ。言ってみやがれ。あ？
There was nothing I could say in response. There were 5 of us on the scene. Chiemi Serizawa, Takamuni Moro, me, as well as Yasunaga Oribe, who was vomiting on a nearby bush, and Rikako Uematsu, who was watching the remains from a distance. Most were proactive, and I could see why they were here. But Rikako Uematsu felt a bit out of place. But then I remembered we were already pretty short-handed.
何があったんだ。誰がやったんだ。畜生。
I mean, they could have done it to themselves. You were gonna hang him. So maybe the old man decided he was just gonna go out on his own terms then? And Chika talked about how the old man and he were friends because they're both outsiders. So Chika felt like he had to go too because he was afraid he was gonna be next anyway. And this way it helps everyone else survive because now there's less people. Look here. She pointed to the old guy's clothes. There were gatherings of fur all over his garment. Oh, never mind. A werewolf. If that was the culprit, then this was the work of the corruption. Oh god, he broke the rules. He was trying to run or something. He must have been. Because I guess if you were chosen to be hanged, trying to leave would be a violation of the rules then. Was that what she was saying? No. This was completely different from how the others had died. The fur proved little.
傷を見せてください。
Let me see the wound.
触るなっつってんだろ。
I told you not to touch it.
これは明らかにこれまでと違う。
But this is completely different.
知ったようなことを言うな。これまで何もわからずじまいだったくせに。
We've literally only examined one body. You shut your mouth.
そうやって見ることをやめてしまえば、わかるものもわからなくなる。
But if we stop trying to look, we won't understand anything at all.
しらじらしいんだよ、よそ者。
匠兄ちゃん、落ち着いてよ。
うるせえ。こいつが来てから全部おかしくなったんだ。こいつがいなけりゃ。
Yeah, it's totally his fault you guys decided to hang the old man. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's totally his fault. It felt like he was about to grab me. I could clearly see the intense emotion whirling in his eyes. I thought I could get him to trust me. But now it was back to square one.
もち、どうしてだよ。どうして。
Before you go deeper in the mystery, thank ya. Yasunaga Oribe calmed down a bit and faced the remains of his dear friend. His voice was shaking. The expression on the corpse was eerily pale and emotionless. Even a look of agony was absent. It almost looked like he was smiling. Did his face muscles simply go limp?
これは汚れじゃない。
This isn't the corruption.
どうしてわかる？
How do you know?
どいてくれれば証明できる。
I'll prove it if you let me pass. He glared at me with immense hatred before letting me through.
きつい人は見ない方がいい。
Look away if you can't stomach this kind of thing. I walked up to the old guy's corpse. He looked as distant as always. But The lack of blood flowing in his face simply made his appearance even more creepy. I avoided looking at it while I grabbed his back and rolled him onto it. Ugh! With a wet sound, entrails spilled from the wound in his stomach. Yeah.
ひどい。
みんな無理するな。たくみさん、あなたは見てください。
Him! Don't force yourself. Except you. Look. Yeah, so it was suicide. I was right. The stomach was clearly torn open by a blade.
これは超自然的な天罰や何かじゃない。
This isn't some supernatural punishment. It was caused by a person wielding a weapon. And since there's no weapon nearby, it means that someone intentionally removed it from the scene. So Yasumizu has someone who's both armed and capable of an act like this. It's Grandma! She's pissed that Chika suspects her. Please give me the details of what happened during the feast. What led to this? Good job! Good job, old guy with the glasses. This is your fault. With several people here to tell me, I ended up with a decent grasp of how today's feast went. Kiyonosuke-shi has suggested they choose who to kill by vote. The wolf guy and Chiemi ended up with the same amount of votes, resulting in a tiebreaker. Most ended up voting for the wolf guy, sentencing him to death. He said he'd wanted to take care of something, so he and Chikamochi went out, while the rest stayed where they were. Were they really the only ones who left? Yeah, the feast was still going on at that point. Them leaving was an exception. You expected them to come back and resume the feast. What would you have done then? That... is it something we can tell an outsider? Alright. But anyway, they did come back. How long did you wait for them? No more than an hour. We started to worry and went out to search. Found them in less than 10 minutes. So the culprit was one of those not present. Chiemi, Takumi-san, Yasunaga-kun, and Rikako Uematsu. The five in the hall, no Satoshi, Kaori-san, Miko, Haru-chan, and Tai-san, simply couldn't be responsible. So someone killed the two, changed into some clean clothes, and came back to pretend to keep searching? That's impossible. Did you see each other while searching? No. We split up to cover more ground. Let's return to the hall. We then went to the hall. Kiyonosuke-shi kept watch and confirmed that no one besides the victims and the search party had left the building. That limited the potential murderers to the search party and I. I asserted that I was still in the room when it all happened, and they believed me for now. Though Takumi-san continued to suspect that I used some sort of trick to escape and commit the murders. Bro is just desperate. He just... well, I mean, when it's a town, like a village of 16 people, you don't want to believe anyone you know is a murderer. But, well, that was fair considering everyone else was with them. But I knew I wasn't the culprit. That left only one possibility. They died right after they left the hall. Then someone removed the weapon. Oh, shut up! I'm telling you, I heard him in his room. I'll say it as much as I have to. I'm innocent. And since I am, something else has to be responsible.
さっきから慎重に殺人と言ってませんね。
I see you're avoiding using the word murder.
気づいた？そう。今のところ自殺や病死、毒殺の後、
You noticed? I am. As it stands, this could be suicide, death by illness or poison, followed by desecration of the corpses and removal of the weapon.
そんなことをして我々に何の得がある？それより芹沢時様が共犯だとなれば話は極めて簡単ではないかね。
How nice. How would doing something like that benefit us?
わかりませんが、僕にだって得はありませ
I
ん。
don't know. But doing that wouldn't benefit me either.
どうだか。本当はお前たち以前から知り合いだったんじゃないのか。
Huh. Really? Tell me, is there any proof you didn't know each other before this?
違いますけど。だったとしてどうだって言うんですか？
Damn. We did it, obviously, but what does that have to do with anything?
君の悪い昔話を住人が信じているのをいいことに化け物のふりをして殺人を楽しみに来た。
Damn.
ってのはどう？
The people here believe an eerie legend. You could have come here to take advantage of that and pretend to be monsters to murder them for your enjoyment.
やめてください。言っていいことと悪いこと。
Stop! There are some lines you shouldn't cross.
やめなさい、あんた方。
Tai Yamawaki-san walked out of the hall. I could see Haru, Meiko, and Kaori behind her. That made a total of 10 survivors, 9 if you excluded me, who hadn't participated.
誰が近持ちとおじいさんを殺しても
Whoever killed Chikamochi and the Elder, they went against the laws.
新内様は必ず
Shinai-sama will subject them to the corruption. Oh, that's true! It'll take care of itself. How great. Damn, that Shinai-sama, so handy. It's like, you broke the rules, I got you, bang. She put her hands together in prayer and faced the peak of Mount Shinai at the opposite side of Sadanaga. Strangely enough, that was enough for everyone to fall silent. Rika Korematsu joined in, and Meiko copied her. This was the settlement's way of solving things. They gave up on discourse and just left it all in the hands of a higher power.
ばあちゃん、今日はどうする？
Bachan, what do we do now?
もう一人分の血は流れとる。おじいさんも死んでしもうたことじゃ。宴はしまいにしてかたしよう。
One has already spilled blood for the day. The elder has died. Let's end the feast for the day and clean up.
わかった。安永。
Alright. Yasunaga, help out.
僕が
I can't.
お前はおとなしくしてろ。
You just sit. The situation was only getting worse. Soon after that, it was time to shelter. So everyone retreated to their houses. Takumi-san had entered my room and boarded my window completely shut.
てめえが犯人じゃないなら、完全に塞いでも何かが起きるはずだ。
Wow. If you're not the culprit, something's gonna happen even if you're locked in. His words were harsh, but there was a hint of composure. He might have actually believed that I wasn't the one who did it, or maybe he found peace in the idea that the mountain would punish the culprit. Or perhaps he just believed it was the work of something supernatural. Whatever the case, he was dwelling less and less on the matter. Was the wolf guy a wolf? I had no idea whether that was possible. Assuming he wasn't, 2 of the remaining 9 were wolves. I hope this is at least the type of mystery where we eventually get all the answers. And in like a decent amount of time, because Higurashi was really bad for just throwing a bunch of questions at you and then being like, ha ha ha, you gotta wait like 3 years now for the answer arc to come out. Assuming he wasn't, 2 of the remaining 9 were wolves, with Kyonosuke-shi being a confirmed human, Takumi-san being the snake, and Meiko being a monkey. There were a whole 6 suspects. Thanks to my advice, Chami suggested the monkeys reveal themselves, and they turned out to be Chikamochi and Meiko, though Mochi had just died. That was a heavy blow. Him being a confirmed non-wolf was one reason, but more than that, he was one of the few people here who actually talked to me without restraint. He was somewhat of an oddity compared to the rest of the people here, but I did find him to be a fun guy. I'd like to get back at whatever injustice had stolen his life. Clearing my head, I resumed thinking, wow, Haruaki actually a decent dude. He's like, it was messed up this kid died so young. Since she was acting suspicious today, Takumi-san would investigate Haru-chan. Tomorrow, we'd have only 5 suspects. That'd give them decent chances of picking out the 2 wolves. It seemed to me like it wouldn't be that hard to find the murderers, who would surely be shaken by what they had done. And then the outed wolf, not wanting to die alone, would reveal their partner. That was the most optimistic way to look at it. From a pessimistic standpoint, though, the situation was absolutely terrible. Four people had died today. In a normal feast of Yomi Purge, it had to be 1 per day, 1 per night. This was double that. Oh yeah, this is a bad timeline. If things hadn't gone so well in the forest, even Haru Makishima might have died. Not to mention the dreadful state Kaori Oribe was in. I was told their relationship had gotten worse. Well, after accusing her? Yeah. Kaori-san was in no state to prepare food, so it was likely that no one had eaten anything today because no one else in this town can cook. The hunger would only worsen everyone's morale. It was best for them to prioritize getting a proper meal tomorrow. Even so, there was no guarantee we wouldn't get any more irregular deaths. For example, someone at their wits' end could attack a wolf suspect despite the threat of the corruption. If they ended up losing more humans while the number of wolves stayed the same, the humans would be done for either tomorrow or the day after. Escape. I'd been entertaining the idea ever since lunch. The path was ruined, and I'd had to travel through an undeveloped grove, but I hadn't run into anything supernatural there when searching for Haru-chan. Dang, this Brittany Strawberry House vibes. No, not the Strawberry House. English, Diana? What's English? Eagle? What? Honey? Hanamasen! Oh, sorry, that's understand. Oh, what is the negative formal tense again? Because wakaranai is impolite, I think. Wakari... Well, anyway. I also had Saranaga as another option. Everyone here hated it, but that just made it less likely for me to be caught. Going down a misty rocky cliff was dangerous, but at least it was a one-way road. I just had to be careful I didn't get taken by the currents, and it was definitely better than staying here and dying. However, perhaps even suggesting that was dangerous. According to Rikako Uematsu, the effects of the corruption were limited to the ones who broke the laws, so you could escape them by killing yourself. However, if someone said they wanted to escape the village, the punishment would likely go to both the one attempting it, as well as the one who allowed it. The escape would surely become a hell of an experience then. However, there was an optimistic view of the situation. Something was actually here. Something abnormal was here in Yasumizu, killing and menacing its people using abnormal methods. At the very least, Yoshitsugu Oribe, who'd went to face it, suffered a horrible death. The superstitions weren't baseless, and it was best to look at the situation from that angle. My plan of escape contradicted that. But then, how could I prepare for whatever was to come? The best I could think of was trying to familiarize myself with Fujiyoshi's superstitions. Perhaps I could find some sort of weak point or hint that could lead me to their identity? The action rhyme they did was obviously referring to the Feast of the Yomi Purge. I could remember all the lyrics, but I felt like there was quite a lot of info there. Perhaps there were more hints for the feast in Yasumizu's culture and general area. I felt like I had to talk to Rikako Uematsu. She was an adult who seemed more involved in Fujiyoshi's prayer and stuff than most. I needed to arm myself with more info by tomorrow morning. And of course she's gonna be dead because, you know... Clearly this is a dead end. Our boy's never gonna figure anything out. He's just gonna Subaru this all up. There. Sorry, I had to put my brace back on. I took it off for a second, you know, let the skin breathe. That, along with the proper progression of the feast, were my only ways to survive. Not the Subaru moment. Yeah, the Subaru. He's gonna Subaru. About... You'd abuse that type of ability? I don't know. I mean, as Subaru said himself, the dying is painful. Just because you're gonna come back doesn't mean it hurts any less. They must have decided to hang the wolf guy because they just didn't care about him all that much. Simple as that. Sure, it was important to get rid of the participants who weren't cooperative. However, the fact that we lost 6 people, but they still hadn't gone beyond he or she is kind of shady was pretty bad. Yesterday, they would have hung anyone for such a petty reason. Well, the problem was that they hadn't hung anyone at all so far. But then again, it wouldn't be a good thing to give their impression that it was okay to kill people just for seeming shady. This place was regressing back to a feudal, superstitious mental state. If there was something that could stop them from sinking there, it would be an outsider like me. I steeled my resolve and waited for the night to pass.
こんばんは。
I was so startled by the voice on the other side of the door that I momentarily screamed. What time is it? 7? It was too early for the attack and too late to be walking around.
どうしたんだ君は。もう寝てないと天罰が下るんじゃないのか。
What's wrong with you? Aren't you gonna get punished if you don't sleep?
いやー、多分あと1時間くらいは大丈夫だよ。昨日も8時くらい
I think another hour is fine. I was awake until 8 yesterday and nothing happened.
正直毎日寝すぎでしてね。寝は足りてる一方で
I've been sleeping too much, honestly. I'm not tired, but am really, really hungry. Who sleeps at 8? In this case, they do. Because it's mandated by the feast that you're supposed to go to sleep as soon as, when the sun goes down, or the corruption will get you. Don't you have your food stocks?
香織さんがあんな状況だとみんなで分け合うべきかなって思って手をつけないことにした。
What Kaori-san being? Well, you know, I decided not to touch it. Might share it with the others.
みんな今日はお腹空かせてるしね。付き合おうか。
We're all hungry today, so I'll just tough it out. Would force you to sleep at 6? How old were you? Like 5? How upstanding.
春明さんは食べていいと思うよ。
You should eat, though.
昼のやつ。
What, the stuff from before?
やめとけ。
Nah. Oh, 10? Yeah. 6 at 10 p. At 10 years old isn't the worst, but yeah. Why are you here anyway?
だから気を紛らわせるため
Can't
に。
sleep.
本当にそれだけ。
Is that really it?
春明さん、私のこと疑ってる？
Haruaki-san? Do you suspect me?
いや、
No.
なんで？
Why?
猿のことを言ったから。自分でちゃんと理解した上で。
Because you told them about the monkeys, knowing full well what it meant.
読み意味の宴は非常によくできたコミュニケーションゲームだ。
The Feast of the Yomi Purge is a well-constructed communication game.
よくできたって？
コミュニケーション以外の方法でゲームに勝つことをほとんど封じてるって。
I mean that there's no way to win this game beyond communication. Chikamochi-kun thought the same thing.
これに勝つには人も狼もコツというか独自のセオリーを要する。
To win, both the humans and the wolves need to have some tricks and individual strategies.
猿もその一つだ。何の役に立つか分かりづらいけど、実はいきなり容疑者を2名も。
Consider the monkeys. They seem useless at first, but you can use them to easily eliminate 2 suspects.
これは1日目から可能だから、猿は安全なリーダーになれる。モッチーとメイコには厳しそうだけど。
And this is possible from day 1, so they can become reliable leaders, though that'd be hard for Mochi and Meiko.
そうだね。自由人とお子様
Yeah, he was a free spirit, and she's a child.
一方で、狼はどちらかといえば、
The wolves, on the other hand, have to go on the defensive.
怪しいだけでくくられる状況下では、あくまで怪しまれないことが重要になるわけだが、これは結構難しい。
In a situation where being suspicious is enough to get yourself hanged, it's important not to draw attention to yourselves. That's easier said than done, though.
そうだね。黙ってて
Yeah, keeping your silence can be just as suspicious as being a blabbermouth.
そうだね。
Exactly.
ただ、
But there are 2 factors that make it easy to gauge trustworthiness right from the start. Haruaki is teaching us how to be good liars. Take notes, everyone.
それが猿のことに関係するの？
Do they have something to do with monkeys?
ああ、要は間違った誘導をすることと
Yeah.
有用な提言を
You have
し
to
ない
watch out for those who give bad advice or don't provide useful suggestions.
間違った誘導については、例えば間違った計算でみんなを煙に巻いた清之助氏あたりは結構怪しい。
A good example of the former is Kiyonosuke-shi. His poor planning threw everything into disarray, and that makes him really suspicious. Yeah, it's his fault. Everyone distrust each other now.
でも彼は人
But he's confirmed to be human,
その通り
right? Well, that's assuming Takumi-san wasn't lying about being the snake.
嘘だって可能性あるの
Wait, you're saying you could be lying? They didn't even consider it.
ゼロじゃないさ。だって過去を受けたかどうかなんて
It's not
口でもいくらで
impossible.
も言える
After all, anyone can say they have a guardian.
というか例えば僕が狼なら何人か殺した後で適当なカゴ車を名乗って
Honestly,
安全な座席を確
if
保
I were a wolf, I'd lay low until I killed a few, and then claim to have a guardian to ensure my safety.
なるほどでも匠兄ちゃんは初日にいき
I
なり
see.
名乗ったよ
But Takumi-chan came out on the first day.
そうなんだよな
Yeah,
自殺行為に近いけど結果雲に守られることを考えれば痛みを伴う有効打だったのかな
that was basically suicidal. But since that allows the spider to protect him, it's like a telling blow that hurt the attacker. I think unless Makishima was the spider. Because if he was the spider, then there's no one to protect Takumi tonight. And there's gonna be no more snake. Anyway, all things considered, I'd say it's safe to trust Takumi-san and Kiyonosuke-shi. Excuse me. Personally, I think you're trustworthy too, since you spoke up about the monkeys.
春明さんのその意図を見抜いて黙ってるのは
What if I only did it because I saw your game?
お
Oh, that'd be bad.
ということは猿のことを教えてくれた時点ではちえみのこと疑ってたってことですよ
Wait, hold on. Aren't you saying you basically suspected me until I spoke up?
あ、気づいた
Oh, you noticed.
なんつう男
This goddamn guy! What the hell?
信じたかったからカマかけたんだよ
How good the story is? Oh, the story is fantastic. I can see why this was well received within the community, like the visual novel community. I don't know if it's popular, because I mean, very few visual novels are popular. But this is really well constructed. I like... This feels slightly blasphemous, but I like it better thus far compared to Higurashi. Because Higurashi spends a lot of time waffling around in the daily life stuff and having a lot of haha, funny anime shenanigans stuff. Versus this one just gets right to it. Like, you came here to play a murder, like a murder mystery visual novel, and that's what we're gonna give you. Like, the slice of life stuff in Higurashi is fun, but I just appreciate that Raging Loop just gets to the meat of it. Because really, you could remove most of the slice of life stuff from Higurashi like the anime did, and the story doesn't really suffer for it. I did it because I wanted to believe you.
回復
Alright, I'll forgive you. Woohoo!
ということは一番怪しいのは
So who's the most suspicious one?
はるちゃん
Haru-chan.
やっぱりか
Totally get what you mean. Higurashi has some great highs, but it does take time to get to them. Like, Higurashi is a classic for a reason. Like, the actual mystery of everything is very good and is very well constructed. Just, yeah, like, every time I join one of Spooky streams and we're in a daily life segment where it's like, for example, I guess indirect spoilers, but like there was the whole scene where Keisuke's like, we're gonna win this baseball game, and I'm gonna do it by calling this dude out in the bathroom on his weird fetish and get him to throw the game for us. The entire time I was like, why is this here? Are we playing a harem, like, dating sim now? Because that feels like something out of one of the weird harem dating sims. I'm like, I thought this was Higurashi. Where's the murder? Where's the sploosh sploosh? Like, having a baseball game as a setup to give more information about Satoko, because she was relevant to that arc, made sense. But the weird, like, oh, you love eating desserts because you think of them as women kind of thing was like, what? Why? So I appreciate that Raging Loop has mostly stuck to what it needs to for the plot. Like, we do have some slice of life segments, but it's just setting things up. There's good and bad to both forms. It's always... Sometimes it's nice to have padding to a story, but yeah. When it's the murder mystery, sometimes it is nice just to, like, you know, keep it streamlined. She's not making much sense lately, and you can explain her shift in personality by assuming it's because she killed her granddad. Or maybe she couldn't agree with the other wolf on their decision to kill Kanzoshi and stop trusting anyone. Oh, that makes sense. You can make up 1,000 reasons like this, though. We couldn't go by just that. They said Haru hadn't gathered many votes, but they treated her like some kind of pariah, making it clear that everyone suspected her. It was only natural to use the snake to check on her. Though she doesn't seem all that good at games and stuff, it probably wasn't fair to judge her purely on not making any useful contributions. In that regard, Yasukun is way more suspicious. Huh? But you did say a lot, like pointing out my math was incorrect. And he did say something like what you just said. Not doing anything indirectly helps the wolves or something. Not to mention that on the first day, he suggested that the spider should hide. That's true. Though most of those things were minor, he was definitely contributing to the game. The first day was especially important. For the wolves, it was best to create a flow where they could just stay quiet and wait for those with guardians to out themselves. What bothered me was the fact that he was the one who'd brought up leader selection and the monkey thing. He was shady because he hadn't made those useful propositions. I thought he'd figured those things out a while ago. Or maybe I, as an outsider, just had a better grasp of the situation? Yeah, no. I think it's Yasu and Granny that are the wolves. Because we saw, a Zori, like Japanese sandal footprint. And all the water on the futon could have been explained by the fact that she's afraid of corruption. So she, like, tried to cleanse everything. And Yasu's just suspicious because, at some point they had said, going for the most influential, useful people would be the worst the best thing for the wolves to do, and that would have been either Yasunaga or Kanzo. And since it's Kanzo who's gone, that makes Yasu suspicious. Like, if Yasu doesn't die tonight, he's definitely a wolf.
となると彼はやっぱり白かな。
I guess he's innocent then. I don't know about the rest, though I can't even imagine what Rikako and Tai-san are thinking.
そうだね。
I know what you mean. But if you looked at the circumstances outside the feast, Rikako was pretty shady. It always felt like she was hinting at something. It wouldn't have surprised me if she knew more than she let on. If she was a village head, she could know things only those from Kami Fujiyoshi knew. That was more than enough reason to suspect her. Ooh, typos. Or there was more than enough reason to suspect her, I guess. Technically correct, just a weird sentence. If only we could follow that lead and solve this whole thing, it'd make things way easier.
春秋さんさ、現状楽しんでない？
Haruaki-san, are you enjoying this?
ないよ。
No.
でもこういうミステリーみたいなのって
But you look like the type who likes mystery stories.
それは否定し
Well,
ないけど
I won't deny that.
さすがに自分や
But I can't really enjoy myself when people I care about and I are in danger.
それこそ探偵を気取ってみても素人には何も分かりはしない。
If I did act like some master detective, I'd really just be some useless amateur. It wouldn't accomplish anything.
あんまりそう
I'm not sure I buy that.
なぜこんなに
Huh?
疑わ
What
れ
do
てい
you
るのだろう
mean?
他のみんな
Everyone else is a mess. I think most normal people would lose it in this kind of situation.
それは君についても言えるんじゃない？
I could say the same about you.
私も普通じゃないですし
I'm not exactly normal either.
そういえば人を殺す
Oh
こと
yeah,
とか聞い
I
た
heard that you almost killed someone.
誰か
Huh.
な殺したのは
Who told you that?
それは秘密。
That's a secret.
まあそんなに
Though
悪
it
意のあ
didn't
る
sound
感じには
intentional.
聞こえなかったけど。
Mm,
まあなんと言いますか
well, how do I say it?
中学の時かな安水の子らをいじめてた分校の上級生らを
Oh, damn! I think it happened in middle school. I grabbed a bat and beat up some students who were bullying the Yasumizu kids.
うわ
Whoa.
その中に長者の筋のやつもいたから大騒ぎになっちゃってね
Some of them were connected to the head families, so it became a big deal. And that's basically why the adults here are so harsh on me. I mean, valid? But also, go TM me. Like, don't beat up bullies with the bat, but also, I can understand.
なるほど。正義の武闘派ってわけだ。
So you fight out of a sense of justice. So she was sent to Yasumizu for making enemies out of the village heads.
いやーまあ単に血の気が多くて問題を起こしたかった
I wouldn't say that. It's more like I just have a short temper and I wanted to make a scene.
反抗期
Rebellious phase,
そんな感じ
more or less.
はるちゃんやよしくんと同じよこんな田舎だとやすくんみたいにまっすぐ
Same as Haru-chan and Yoshi-kun. In a place as rural as this, it's rare for children to grow up as level-headed as Yasu-kun, don't you think? Oh, that makes him even more suspicious.
そうかな。ひねた都会よりも健全で素直な子に育ちそうだ。
Really? I think they'd be healthier and nicer than the edgy brats from the city.
言い直すこんなに貧しいと
Let me rephrase that. In a place as poor as this. Well, there was no doubt that Yasumizu was destitute. There were no cars, cell phones, and it didn't even feel like it had an economy. They probably lived mostly off the land, making money from whatever they could spare from their farms and hunts. Since they had no decent way to sell stuff to anyone outside, most of their business had to be done through Kami Fujiyoshi. It was entirely likely they were ripping them off. No way this place could be wealthy in these circumstances. I did believe that money could buy everything, but poverty took its toll on the people suffering it. Some could live in poverty while retaining their purity, but that was borderline saintly. It was a lifestyle too difficult for the common masses. Yeah, it is literally classified as a type of PTSD if you live in poverty for too long. And I read some articles at some point that people who were living in long-term poverty wanted to qualify for medically assisted suicide, basically, because their life was just not going to get better. Also, since the people of Yasumizu were ostracized from Kamifujiyoshi, they were targets of unjust pressure from day one. I could understand why the children here strayed from the path. Though, when you looked at it like that, the way they strayed was so mild, it was almost cute. Are you disturbed now? Not really. Some people are just trapped, yeah. It's especially hard on young people in these situations. Because you did nothing to end up in poverty or in bad circumstances. It was just you were unlucky. And that's really hard to swallow. There was an article I had read by someone when I was younger, like in high school, about how they were in poverty as a child because of debt, like their parents' debt. And then when they got older, they also fell into debt, but they were talking about how it was easier to bear because it was it was a misfortune of their own making. So it wasn't as infuriating as when they were a child and stuck in it. And when I read that as a kid, I could not understand how that could be. But as an adult, I kind of get it. Like, it's more annoying to be in a situation where there's no one to blame versus where if you're in a bad situation because of something you did, at least there's, like, somewhere you can direct your feelings. These kids growing up in the poverty here, like, they've got nowhere for their anger to go. Except at the people who didn't put them in this situation and each other and themselves. I'm just going to ignore that poor attempt at a pun. Sorry, I didn't even catch it. My ex wasn't any different. Oh. Oh. I see. You seem confused, and I have no idea why. You weren't lying when you said you broke up with your girlfriend? You thought I was? I just thought it was some kind of pickup line. That's just mean. Our breakup was insane. I actually felt like my life was in danger. Whoa, sorry to hear that. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, if he's saying his ex was like Chiemi, the type of person who has a short temper and would go crazy and try and beat you, yeah, I could see how the breakup would go really bad. Haru, have you considered you're the problem and your taste is just not good? What about you? Huh? Your history with guys. I shared mine, so hearing yours is only fair, right? Well, yeah. How many did you go out with? 2? I guess.
知恵姉はモテモテで53人切りの超絶ビッチだって話は
Whoa!
そこまで言ってない。多少持ったのは認めるが、実際大学で各種お誘いはいっぱいもらってますけども。
What? I mean, she never said she did it with 53 guys. She said she had the numbers of 53 guys. That doesn't mean she did anything with them. I mean, I have tons of people's numbers in my phone that I haven't talked to. One day I'll find my Toko minus the not taking bus. So you'll find a murderer. Good luck with that. We'll deliver a eulogy at your funeral. It was very tragic. But this is exactly how he wanted it. So we should be happy for him. You did it, you old dog, you.
なのに二人ぽっちなんだ。付き合った人。
Well, yeah, she lied and said she had the numbers of 53 dudes to try and get him to back off a bit. Well, I did find many guys I got along with.
僕が
But what about me?
これ以上やめとこうよ。期待したら死ぬのが怖くなる。
Let's not go any further. If I let myself get too attached, I'll be too scared of dying. Well, that's a yes. She likes you.
死ぬのが怖いのは当然じゃない
Being afraid of death is normal, though, isn't it?
別に
Not really.
どうして
Why?
死ぬより神様の方が怖い。
God is way scarier than death.
君の言う神様は一般にイメージするそれと違うよね
I feel like you have a very unusual image of God.
どこが
Really?
それは何やら恐ろしいもので実際に会えるもの
You
なんだ
think of it as something frightening that you might actually meet, right?
みんな神様には合ってるよ。
Everyone has met God. Maybe they just can't see it.
それに神様は怖いよ。
And God really is scary.
怖さを知らない。
It's just no one knows how. I mean, as someone who's never read the Bible, because my family's not religious, even I know how scary Old Testament God was. So, I think this is a fair assessment.
僕も
Myself included?
知らないだけ
あなただけはわからない。
You're the only one I don't understand.
だから私は
That's
あなたを
probably why.
失うのは怖いかもしれない。
Those eyes! That's the Higurashi eyes! Oh no!
そんな言葉永遠の愛を誓った相手にでも言えばいい
That's something you say to those you promise your eternal love to.
怒った
Are you mad?
ちょっとね
A bit.
そっか。
I see.
この段になっても思わせぶりなだけで何の手の内も開示しないのは火遊びが過ぎるんじゃないの
You've gotten this far and you're still being caged. We've gotten this far and you're still being cagey regarding your own background. You can only take playing hard to get so far until it gets annoying.
私もどうすればいいのかわからないし迷ってるんだよ。
Oh, so you want to worship golden idols? Melt the gold and drink it then, literally. Also flooding the world and all kinds of stuff. Thanks, God. I'm just not sure what to do. This isn't easy for me either.
全部話してみればいい
Just tell me everything.
もう帰るね。
I'm going back.
チエミ
Jimmy!
おやすみ。
Good night. What the hell? Why didn't she talk? Did she still not trust me? Was she messing with me? Was she just kind of crazy? Or was it something else? Crap. I wanted to chase her down and get a real answer out of her, but I was locked in. This was so frustrating. Though, this wasn't the time to worry about that. Who would the wolves go for tonight? The wolf guy was dead, meaning there was one less person who'd vote Chiemi out tomorrow. It wasn't likely she'd get top vote. It was best to think that the wolves would go for someone who was useful to the humans and couldn't be killed with the votes. That meant she and Yasunaga-kun were the ones at the highest risk. On the other hand, their survival would make things difficult in other ways. I'd probably be forced to consider the possibility that they themselves were wolves. Could I really trust Chiemi? I felt I could, but not completely. Whatever the case, a situation where the more talkative ones were seen as suspicious would make it harder for her to survive. Should I have talked to her about running away? No, that was probably pointless. I didn't know much about her whole god thing, but it was clear that escape wasn't even an option for her. Something scary that everyone had met, yet not fully perceivable? Was she speaking figuratively? Or could she literally see something? Shit! I don't care! Yes, you do. I became irritated. My hunger was starting to get to me. Figuring it was better than just wasting my mental energy, I focused on taking a bath and going to bed. I had no idea just how naive my predictions would prove to be. Ooh boy. Here we go. Thursday. I woke up at 5 in the morning. The window was still boarded up, so I couldn't see anything outside. All I could do was sit around and wait. Eventually, I could hear the objects keeping me in get removed, and I was greeted by Yasunaga Uribe and Chiemi Serizawa. Those two actually survived. I met up with Haru Makishima too. Her face was pale, and she had bags under her eyes. No one here looked healthy anymore, but she was beyond even that point. She'd gone completely meek too. The defiance from yesterday was gone, and she was just letting Yasunaga-kun guide her. She'd lost another friend, after all. We arrived at the dining hall, but found no one there. The door was unlocked. That was a bad sign. It was Kanzo Makishima's place all over again. Mom should be sleeping upstairs. With that knowledge, I opened the door. What if she was attacked? Even if she wasn't, considering her state yesterday, it wasn't unlikely she did something unthinkable, such as suicide. However, I soon found out my worries were for nothing. Kaori-san was standing all alone in the dark dining hall, wearing an apron. The fact that she wasn't doing anything but standing was just eerie. Oh God. She turned around and greeted us. Her voice was the only thing calm about her. Her eyes were bloodshot, and signs of malnourishment were all across her face. Her faint, forced smile made her seem on the verge of collapse. She completely failed at acting normal. Her heart was probably swirling with panic and sorrow as great as yesterday. Everyone here could see it. Mom, everyone's hungry. I'll make food, so you just rest. Huh? But I can do it myself. You'll cut off a finger. Oh, I'll help. I actually cook for myself, so I know what to do. After they volunteered to support Kaori-san, I thought about what purpose I could serve here. Let's go. and called to Haru-chan before going outside. She came with me, but wasn't saying a word. During yesterday's feast, she'd had a fight with Kaori-san. The woman had voted for Haru-chan due to change in her attitude and failed escape attempt. And I couldn't blame her for that. Considering her personality, I imagined that the exchange had been extremely intense. That was why getting her out of the dining hall was a good move. Problem was, we didn't really have anything to talk about. This was made worse by the hostility she'd shown me until just recently. According to Mochi, this was a product of her affection towards Yasunaga-kun and all the drama surrounding him. Normally, I'd playfully give her a hard time about that kind of thing, but it seemed in poor taste considering the situation. She was staring daggers at me. Maybe I just had to ask her?
牧島春さん、
何ですか？
担当直入に聞く
I'll be
が
frank. Are you a wolf?
違うわよ。
She didn't hesitate at all. Not like that meant anything.
何よ、納得いかないの？じゃあ、匠兄に調べてもらうわよ。それではっきりするでしょ？
You don't believe me? Then Takumi-ni will check. That'll show you.
気づいて言ってるのか？
Are you saying that despite knowing?
は？何を？
Huh? Knowing what?
彼が生きていれば、食堂で香織さんを介抱しているのは彼だ
If
と
he
思う
were alive, he'd be the one looking after Kaori-san in the dining hall.
昨日も彼は起きてすぐ食堂に行っていた。香織さんが弱っている今、そうすべき理由はさらに強まった。
Yesterday, he went there first thing in the morning. With Kaori-san in her current state, that was all the more reason for him to be there. But now he's missing. Yeah. I mean, obviously you're gonna get rid of the snake as a wolf. Like, that's just common sense. Like, the bro outed himself. No.
嘘でしょ？
No way, that's just...
それを今から調べに行くから。
We'll go check to be sure. Lead the way.
わかった。
Okay.
タイバー、起きてる？
Taiba! Are you awake? Haru knocked on the door and tried to open it, but it was locked, meaning it wasn't touched. Tai-san came out sooner than later. She looked pretty displeased to begin with, but upon seeing me, she displayed outright disgust.
どうしてあんたが来なさったの？
Well, screw you!
すみません。香織さんの具合が悪くて、
Sorry.
人手が足りず。
Kaori-san isn't well, and we need more people.
匠はどうしたの？
Where's Takumi? We're going to check on him.
そうね。
I see. Why are you acting like that? You're a wolf. You know what happened to him. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Her gloomy expression told me she'd realized what might have happened. She said she had to prepare, so we excused
必
ourselves.
要なものがあったら言ってくださいね。
Please ask if you need anything.
はいはいはい。
Oh, yes, of course. She shut the door on us.
女なら誰にでも優しいん
You're
ですね。
nice to all women, aren't you? What the hell was she saying?
お年寄りと女性を思いやるのが紳士ってものだろ。
Being considerate of elders and women is the gentlemanly thing to do.
知恵ねえもそうなの？
Is that how you feel about Chiene?
彼女にはそれなりに
I like her quite a lot.
やめてよ。兄ちゃんがかわいそう。
Please don't. I'd feel so bad for Nichan. Gain EP, okay. Take care, have a good sleep. Nichan. Yasunaga-kun, surely.
かわいそう。
What do you mean by that?
よし君もモッチーも死んじゃって、兄ちゃんには 香織さんと知恵姉しかいないのよ。
Yoshikun and Mochi are gone. Kaori-san and Chiene are all he has left. What about you then?
それに知恵姉は私らの中で一番強くて、上藤吉のやつらや大人たちからいつも私らを守ってくれる。
Also, she's the strongest among us, and she's always protected us from the people of Kami Fujiyoshi and adults.
私らから
Don't take her away from us. Huh, so that's how it was. I wasn't sure how she actually felt about Chiemi, but there was definitely more trust and reliance than I'd expected. Yasunaga-kun spoke like he'd given up on Chiemi, but deep down, he was actually glad she had returned. Haru-chan was aware of that, and she actually liked Chiemi. That was why she concluded that they should be together. However, it was clear she didn't feel like giving them her blessing.
君の気持ちは分かったよ。
I understand how you feel. The end result depended on Chiemi, and since she hated Yasumizu, I felt like it wouldn't be something Haru-chan wanted. Then again, I really didn't know what was going on in Chiemi's head either. And I had no idea who to survive, so making predictions was a waste of time.
とにかく今は宴を終わらせるという
For now,
一点に集中すべきだ。
everyone should focus on ending the feast.
僕には大したことができないかもしれないが、身内に話しづらいことでもあれば。
I don't think I can do much, but if there's something you don't want to tell your own, I'm willing to listen.
何
Huh?
それ
What do you mean?
いや、何ってこともないけど。
Nothing
君は
much.
悩み
It
が多そうだし。
just feels like you have a lot to worry about.
あと、外に逃げるって選択。
And personally,
あり
I
だと思
still
ってる
think that escaping outside is a good idea.
それは無理よ。
That's not possible. Did you
君
try
は
it
可能性
yourself?
にかけて逃げたんじゃないのかい？
でも逃げられなかったじゃない。
But I failed, didn't I? That made me realize we can't escape. You also went, like, the worst possible way. Like, you decided to climb the mountain to try and get to the town because you're afraid of the river. The river is technically the much safer way to go.
それはたまたま怪我をしたからじゃ。
Isn't that just because you happened to hurt your foot?
たまたまなんかじゃない。
It didn't just happen.
君も神様を信じてるのか？
Do you believe in God too?
何を聞いた？
Oh god, it's starting all the eyes! What did you just say?
そんなものいない。そう考えなきゃやってられない。
God doesn't exist. If I doubted that, I just couldn't cope with anything. There was a weird aura around her for a second. But then she walked away, leaving me no choice but to follow her. This freaking child. Bah! We arrived at the houses. The mysterious girl was on the verge of crying. Oh no. What happened to Rikako?
おはよう。どうしたの？
Good morning. What's wrong?
はっきり喋りなさいよ。
Speaking normally, you know how to, right? Don't be rude.
大人げないな。はい。おはようございます。
Come on, be more mature. Repeat after me. Good morning. This was hopeless. Haru-chan glared at her while I stayed patient. Come on. Depending how old she is and if she's in emotional distress, it's hard for little kids to form their words. Hi, Art. Thank you for redeeming your potion.
リカコさんは？
Where's Rikako-san?
お姉ちゃん、
うん。
Yeah.
どこ？
Where is she?
出てこない。
She hasn't come out.
ここよ。あいつの家。
Her house is right here. It really was. I'd been here yesterday. I knocked and called out to her. There was no response. Haru-chan and I looked at each other, and I tried to opening the door. Huh? It was locked.
Rikako-san!
Rikako-san! Still no response. I hesitantly put my ear against the door. I heard some sort of rustling sound.
多分着替え中か何かだろう。
She's probably getting dressed.
じゃあやっぱり
Then, he really did.
まだわからない。まだ清之助しかもし
We
れない
don't know for sure. It could still be Kiyonosuke-shi.
私がどうした？
Oh, hi! Well, I did expect him to live.
リカコさんは大丈夫か？
Is Rikako-san well?
あなたはそればっかりですね。
Huh. She's all you care about, isn't she? And yeah, she does seem alright. She's not out yet,
ど
though.
うかしたんですか？
I wonder what's up.
嫌な予感がしてな。杞憂ならいい。しかしそうなると、死んだのは山脇老人か。
I had a bad feeling about something. Good to see her was nothing. Does that mean the one to die was Lady Yamawaki?
タイバーは
Nah, Taiba was alive.
なんだと？
What? Why was he so positive?
はるちゃんはメイコを連れて食堂へ
Haru-chan, take Meiko to the dining hall.
手を貸してください。
Kiyonosuke-san, help me out. He tried to say something, but decided against it. He must have realized what happened to the one who'd usually be given these annoying jobs. As expected, the door to his house was unlocked, and the reek of fresh blood was so strong you could smell it outside. I thought that was enough to help me prepare. But once I saw the source, I couldn't keep down what few contents my stomach had left. Oh, damn. So this is even worse than Makishima, then. The two from the first day, Kanzo Makishima and Yoritsugu Oribe, they lost all semblance of form to the point their corpses felt unrealistic. On the other hand, Chikamochi, Kamoshida, and the old wolf guy's corpses were far too clean. Their faces were still intact after all. However, Takumi Moro's corpse was an even balance between ruined and intact. It was spread out on the floor, surrounded by splashes and splotches of blood, as well as some bloody footprints. Scattered brain, grave matter, bone fragments, eyes. About 60% of his face was gone. Oh my god. They didn't smash his head cleanly like they did with Makishima. Oh, this feels really personal. Oh, they shot him! This time the method was clear. There was a rifle lying right next to his corpse. The weapon was actually on the scene for once, and it was a gun. What did it mean? Werewolves use guns, apparently. I wanted to think about that. But I was too shaken by the clear agony Takumi-san's death had brought him. You could see his suffering on the still present half of his face. His hands were on his head too, as if to cover his face or reach for the clearly fatal wound. Yeah, Makishima seemed to have died all in like one go. Versus Takumi, who seems to have had some consciousness for a few moments. He died while holding on to his shattered brain. Though fatal, the first attack hadn't killed him instantly. He could still move after it, which was a testament to his strength and willpower. His life had ended as he suffered overwhelming despair. It was written all too clearly on his dead visage. My emotions bubbled up and overwhelmed my thoughts, and I vomited once again.
大丈夫かね？
Kiyonosuke, she asked, clearly avoiding looking at it himself.
誰か
Brain.
誰か銃の扱いが
Bring me someone who can use guns, please. I never expected you to come alone. Her expression was too stern and too serious for me to even say that.
匠兄ちゃん
Oh! That's right. She was the one who shot us in the first ending where we died. After we got attacked by the wolves. So our dear Tiemi knows how to use guns, huh? She cursed and looked at the gun.
これ肝臓じいちゃんのライフル
This is Kanzo Ji-chan's rifle. She grasped its long body and picked it up.
5発全弾撃ち切ってる空薬莢落ちてる
Whoa! They shot him 5 times? Or did they miss? See any empty cartridges?
探す
I'll look around. I found them real quick. They were covered in blood and flesh, but yeah, I found the metallic cylinders. 5 of them. They were 2 meters away from the corpse, very close to one another. Either the culprit fired from there or gathered them
見
afterwards.
て握りの部分
Look at the handle. Chemi extended the rifle to me. I did as told. Compared to the rest of the gun, which had blood on every part, the handle was clean, like it'd been wiped.
指紋を拭き取った
They removed the fingerprints?
かもね
Probably. Chemi then held it like she was about to shoot and aimed at Takumi-san's body.
ここから撃ってる
Yeah, it was fired from here.
どうしてわかる
How can you tell?
血の飛び散り方あっちに向かって勢いよく飛んでるでしょかなり低い角度で撃った証拠
The way the blood scattered. See how it's concentrated around there? It's proof the culprit fired from a low angle. So were they short? Was it Tae?
それに普通のライフルはかなり至近距離でもないとこういう風にめちゃめちゃな傷にはならない
Also, normal rifles can't make such a huge mess unless they're fired from really
か
close.
といって銃口を押し付けて撃ったらいろんなものが跳ね返って銃口がもっと汚れてるはず
But make it point blank and the stuff would get on and around the muzzle. The rifle would be even dirtier. And that was why it was natural to think it had been fired from where she was standing, near the cartridges.
狙って当たるもの
Can you actually aim and hit something with this?
ちゃんと狙い方を知っていることと対象が動いていない
As long as you know how to aim and the target isn't moving, that's all you need.
ということは銃が使えるものの
So this was done by someone who knows how to use guns.
ちなみに照準から小生を除くそれだけ銃って誰でも簡単に人を殺せる便利な道具なんだよ
By the way, it's just a matter of looking at the bead through the sight. Guns are useful little toys that make murder so easy anyone can do it.
弾の装填とかは
What about
その辺の
loading?
一般人に渡して
That doesn't seem like something a layman can do, is it? Unless Konzo did the very big faux pas and always kept his rifle loaded.
それはそうかもねでもタエバーちゃんあたりなら撃ったこと
Good point. But even Taeba-chan has experience firing a gun. Finding the culprit in Yasumizu won't be easy. This was a settlement where the people went hunting. Basically, everyone here must have touched rifles before. Scary! All we could really assume was that Meiko-chan couldn't have done this.
そもそも全弾命中してるわけじゃないどうやら1発は耳に2発は胸と肩にあここにも弾痕
Damn. It was a real messy murder then. Whoever it was, wasn't experienced, or they were nervous. And it's not like every bullet hit the head, one grazed the ear, one hit the chest, one hit the shoulder. And look here, a bullet hole. She pointed at a small part of the floor that was ruined.
頭部に当たったのは一発だけか。
So, only one hit the head.
そうだね。
Yeah.
もしかしたらそれは致命傷じゃなくて胸の一つが飛び出たのかも。
Oh, God. This poor guy. Yeah, I think that one wasn't fatal. It was probably the one in the chest that ended it. She looked at the body's pose and made the same conclusion as me.
ちなみに、なんでそんなに詳しいの？
Why do you know so much about guns anyway?
私も狩猟免許持ってる。銃も罠も網も。
I have a hunting license. I know how to use guns, traps, and nets. Whoa, girl! So wild.
外ではクレー射撃何度も行ったし、それなりに慣れてるよ。
She's a skeet shooter? Jesus.
なんと、すごいな。
Well, damn. Did expect that. Chami Serizawa. Look out for her in, like, the something something Olympics.
まあね。
I can understand why.
いずれ戻って、ここで漁師になるつもりだったの？
Did you plan to return here and become a hunter?
銃を持ちたかった。
I just wanted to have a gun. That's it. Damn. Oh, okay. She said that as if it was no big deal. Yeah, in Japan, having a gun is a really big freaking deal. It's very unusual. Her tone seemed kind of dangerous. Like, yeah, usually the only people that have them are hunters and, like, yeah, the people who live in rural areas like this because of the bears and stuff.
ええ。まあ、人を殺しかけたりとか。
中学の時かな。安水の子らをいじめてた分校の上級生らをバットで。
It was the impression you'd get from a girl capable of random acts of violence. I was probably jumping to conclusions, though.
もう、片付けてもいいかな？
Can we clean it up now?
春明さんがいいなら。
If you're fine with it.
じゃあ片付ける。
Let's do it then.
何か分かった？
Did you find out anything?
一連の殺人が人間の犯行だってことに確信。
I am now 100% certain that these murders were committed by people. The culprit used a gun and wiped off the fingerprints, acts that demonstrated a very human level of cunning. If we were up against something supernatural, they just used their mysterious powers instead. If something mysterious can be explained using mundane means, then it was caused by mundane means. That was a general rule I lived by, proven through both knowledge and first-hand experience. Supernatural powers that required carrying out occult rituals were prime examples of things it applied to. The more detailed the preparation required, the more opportunities to notice something amiss. If the trick relied on concealing the method, it was safe to assume the method was something mundane. Even this death, was it caused by some kind of supernatural force? It just happened unobserved. We had people who could do it, and the methods that fit. That was the best way to look at it. Right?
そうかもね。
Maybe you're right.
認めるんだ。
You agree?
多分殺してるのは私の知ってる誰かと誰か。
I do think it was done by people I know. By actual humans.
でもそれは。
But that... Did that go against our whole God story? I want to ask that, but seeing her eyes made me fall silent. Oh, what's she gonna do? Her eyes were wide and cloudy,
でもね、
but her lips let out clear words.
神様からは
No one. I looked away. I probably wanted to cover my ears too.
誰も
Can escape God? I found her words so irrational it began to frighten me. I asked Chiemi to call Kiyonosuke-shi to help carry the corpse, but she insisted on doing it herself. I caved, and we began the unpleasant task. Damn, he was a big dude, too. Following Takumi-san's example, I removed the door and placed his body on it. Chiemi and I each took an end of the door and lifted it up. Please tell me you covered his head. He was as heavy as he looked, and I wouldn't have been surprised if this was too much even for two men. However, Chiemi lifted her side without letting out a single grunt of exertion. It felt like active rejection of the idea that she might need help. We slowly began walking. Kiyonosuke was outside. He was anxious about something. It didn't look like he was waiting for us. So maybe Rikako Uematsu hadn't come out yet? I couldn't afford to stop and chat. Relaxing my arms or lower body could lead me to dropping Takumi-san. I kept walking forward without a single word. Sighing and stopping was our sign that one of us needed to rest. Every time one of us did, we lowered him to the ground, rubbed our aching hands, adjusted our grips, and resumed walking. As we approached the cliff, Chiemi's expression grew darker. Takumi-chan was the youngest of the adults. He was like an older brother to me. I wasn't gonna ask how that mattered. I did see a point in questioning it. I simply nodded, continuing to play the role of audience. He played with me a lot, and always protected me when the other adults got mad at me. There's nothing good about this humid place, but he loved Yasumizu and the people living here. Yeah, I could tell. He was honest to a fault. Yeah. I don't want to just throw him away. Of course you don't. I don't like this either. Should we stop? The only ones who'd really care about this are Takumi-san himself and Tai-san, right? No. We gotta do this. 'Cause of the corruption? Yeah. I continued asking if she was sure, but she didn't change her mind. So we ended up throwing his body into Saranaga. We walked through the graveyard, careful not to trip. We could now see the hanging pine through the mist. Our destination was near. We carefully closed in on the cliff and pushed the door towards it. Bye, Takumi-chan. She said that right as I felt the body slide off. It was falling. I'd done this several times now, but it still made me feel empty. It would eventually hit the water, make a splash, and that'd be it. Huh? Did you hear the water? Not sure. Did we both miss it somehow? Or maybe the bottom of Saranaga opened up into a yawning chasm leading to Yomi. You've got quite the imagination. No one knows what's beyond the mist. There could be anything out there. Should I go down and take a look? You won't return. That was how she saw the world. Alright, let's go back. We returned to do another investigation of Takumi-san's house, but something strange had happened while we were gone. Kiyonosuke was still in the same spot, in front of Rikako Uematsu's house, waiting for her without even trying to hide his frustration. Oh dear. I wonder what happened to her.
まだ出てこないんですか？
She still hasn't come out?
全く大丈夫そうと言ったのは君だが。
No. You're the one who said she seemed alright. What made you think that?
音がしたから。
I heard sounds.
待ってる間にあなた自身で呼んでみればよかった。
Why did you call out to her yourself instead of just waiting?
そんなぶしつけなことができるか。
Something so rude? Okay, mister.
なんでそんなにリカ子さんにだけ気を使ってるんです？
Why is she the only one you're nice to? No, Sato is above Uematsu, isn't it? That was an interesting bit of info. I hadn't realized that the head families had a hierarchy.
女性に気を使うのは当然だろう。
It's only natural to be considerate of women.
私も
I'm a woman too, though.
あえて敵外心をむき出しにしてくる相手に気を使う必要があ
Damn.
るのかね。え？
You're not nice to people for the sake of the... You're not supposed to be nice to people to make them be nice to you. Come on, bro.
勘弁してくださいよ。ついさっきそこで死人が出たんですよ。
Please stop. We just finished putting a body to rest. That was probably one of the reasons why they were so agitated. But my comment was enough to shut them up.
とはいえ心配ですね。
Though yes, I'm worried too.
中で病気やら怪我やらしてたら大変だ。
She might need help if she's sick or injured. We may have no choice but to barge in.
そんなぶしつけな。
How improper. Well, you want her to just bleed out on the floor then? By all means, bro. Was he the type of guy to report someone who undressed a girl to give her proper first aid? What was up with this guy's priorities?
上松さん、上松里香子さん。
Oh boy, here we go! Uematsu! Rikako Uematsu! I waited to end stream because I'm like, there's gonna be another dead body, I just know it. Or something. I bashed the door almost violently. I heard the sound of rustling clothes. Had she collapsed or something?
上松さん、戸を開けますよ。
Uematsu-san! I'm opening the door! No answer again. Only sounds. Was it really Rikako in there?
戸を破ります。
Let's break it down. Chiemi nodded, while Kiyonosuke gave a disgruntled sigh. Here we go. The door was made from thin plywood and a wooden frame. A solid impact would break through. I looked around and saw a few aged farming tools lying against some houses. The old wooden hoe and mallet were too rotten to work here. But the old axe looked just right.
せーの。
1, 2! There was the sound of clattering. The door suddenly moved. Surprised, I jumped backwards and glanced at the other two. They were just as shocked, if not frightened.
何？
What's that?
何って。
What do you mean? It has to be Rikako.
上松さん、
There was no response at first, but a few seconds later, the door shook again. A moment later, it fell silent once more. Had she collapsed on the door? If she wasn't well and was lying next to the door, breaking it open was dangerous. I put the axe down and walked up to the door again. The moment I approached it, I heard a clicking sound. I didn't even have time to question what happened before it creaked open. There was a gap of about 20 centimeters. It was pitch black inside. Oh! And there was a face all covered in blood. Guys, what is going on? It sunk back into the darkness. I didn't want to sleep tonight anyway. Yeah, who needs sleep? This is fine. Oh my god, look at that art. That mouth, my god. It sunk back into the darkness the very next moment, but it was soon replaced by an inhuman scream and an arm that snaked out and grabbed for my neck. The grip had inhuman strength behind it. I ignored Chiemi and Kiyonosukishi's screams and tried to pry myself free. My throat was on the verge of crushing. The groans continued ceaselessly, the nails dug into my neck, and I was being dragged inside. How the hell was she so strong? This arm clearly belonged to Rikako Uematsu, so why? Help me! My words got them out of their stupor, and they ran up to me. As panic and lack of oxygen dimmed my vision, they grabbed, bashed, and tugged at the arm that was holding on to me. Damn it! Hey! Let go! Just one finger! I don't know how long it took, but when I was eventually freed, Chiemi swiftly slammed the door shut. Bring something I can use to bar the door! Like what? Just shove the axe in it! Sitting on the ground in shock, I simply stared at their exchange. I could still barely breathe. My vision was hazy, and I couldn't think clearly. Something inside was trying to get the door open and possibly escape. What it was, though, I had no idea. What had happened to Rikako Uematsu? How about this? Nosato-san, hold it shut! I'll bring the others and we'll barricade it. Haruaki-san, are you alright? Can you stand? Yeah. Actions were more important than words here. Stealing my resolve, I rose to my feet. We gathered everyone who could still move and sealed off Rikako Uematsu's doors and windows with planks, nails, large farming tools, whatever else we could find. The small house was basically a pile of flimsy barricades now. Everyone was tired from all the work and sat down to rest. What's the point of doing this, though? Someone asked. We could still hear groans and crashing sounds from the inside. No one answered the question, but we all understood that letting that thing out would be a mistake. But what exactly was it anyway? That seemed like an answer. Of some sort anyway. What do you mean? Corrupted folk that came from Yomi. You know, don't you? Has to be a Yomi Bito, that. Oh, so Yomi Bito can be more than the wolves. It's not always like that, Haru-chan. Yasumizu has always been menaced by Yomi Bito. Or maybe this is the corruption. Uematsu-sama might have broken an important law. Protecting the laws is the role of the purifying spider family. But that might be it. She touched too much of the corruption. But that's... She might have come to Yasumizu to keep at least a bit of the Yomi's corruption away. How many Yomi Bito will we have now? Takumi was a good boy. Maybe it's a good thing he died before seeing hell.
なんもしんない大権現。
A silent prayer. Her eyes were teary, and her shoulders were shaking.
待て。
Wait, then Rikako-san is...
読み人はくくらねばならん。
That didn't sit right with me. The rule was that breaking the laws meant getting the corruption. Again, the corruption meant being slaughtered, right? It was the first time I'd heard that it was possible to do something about the corruption, and that she died because of that. Logic had little ground here, so the people were gradually losing their minds. They were being pushed closer to death. It was like this was a supernatural phenomenon. Oh God, hi!
皆さん、食事にしませんか？
Is anyone hungry?
もう落ち着きましたから。
I've already calmed down, so we can do the rest
皆さんが
after
落ち着い
you've
てから
calmed down as well. It was a very attractive suggestion as we all turned away and returned to the dining hall. I felt like Rikako Uematsu let out a groan even more inhumanly loud than any of those before. Oh dear. Ah! Once we arrived, the place was dominated by a heavy silence. There were sounds coming from the kitchen. A kitchen knife was rhythmically hitting the cutting board as Kaori-san prepared the food. Tai-san was seated away from everyone, desperately yet fluidly chanting a sutra combined with the kitchen sounds. It had a mind-numbing effect. Everyone else was simply falling into a torpor, silently staring into space. Even I, the sanest person in the room, wanted to simply let my mind shut down and stop thinking. That wouldn't stop me from trying, though. Rather than trying to evaluate the details, I decided to return to square one and summarize the current situation. Takumi-san was dead. That left me, Chiemi, the two Oribes, Kiyonosuke-shi, Tae Yamawaki-shi, Meiko, Rikako Uematsu, and Haru Makishima. A total of 9. Well, you might as well count out Rikako. Clearly, she's not going to be voting. And Rikako Uematsu, I didn't want to say she'd become a Yomibito or something. But it was clear that she was in a condition that left her functionally useless. Normally, the right thing to do here would be take her to a hospital. But instead, they were going to discuss killing her. I'd probably have to remind them of the sound course of action. Whatever the case, if you ignore Rikako Uematsu and I, only 7 people were participating in the feast. With Takumi-san's death, we would never know what the snake found out about Haru Makishima. Therefore, the only confirmed people were Kiyonosuke-shi, a human, and Meiko, a monkey. And personally, I thought I could trust Chiemi. So that made 3. That left 4 others. This was bad. I wonder if Chiemi understood that. I had to talk to her in private. Oh God! We'd kept Meiko away from all that happened this morning. So she was still in the dark. She's not feeling too good. Leave her be. Okay. Hey, can I go outside? Isn't it dangerous? I'll look after her. She'll be safe if she stays close. The 2 left. Yes? There's something I want you to fetch. More people left. They probably didn't feel comfortable standing up until now. Tai-san just continued chanting, though. It was like she lived in another world. Besides her, all that was left was Haru-chan. The way she constantly shifted in her seat made it clear she felt uncomfortable.
匠さんのことは残念だったね。
Sorry about Takumi-san. I tried talking to her.
ええ、
Yeah.
知恵姉も
Chienne always relied on him.
上松里香子さんは
What about Ikako?
私
I did like
あ
her.
の人苦手よ。
She creeped me out.
ちえみちゃんは平気そうだったけど
Chiami-chan seemed fine with her though.
知恵姉は強いもん。
That's because she's strong.
彼女上松さんがこっ
When
ちへ来
did
たのって
Uematsu-san arrive here?
2年か3年前。
2 or 3 years ago. Not recently, at least. That seemed like plenty of time to get to know a person if you asked me. Or maybe not. Yasumizu's people have been suffering at the hands of the village heads for generations. Of course, they couldn't just accept her.
彼女は長者だというが上松家というのは一体どう
I
いう
hear
意味
she's
なん
one
だ
of the village heads, but what kind of family are the Uematsus anyway?
何が聞きたいのよ。よそ者はおとなしくしてろって言われるの何度目ですか？
Sorry for trying to help you.
あーごめん
Sorry.
これは
That
無神経だ
was
った
insensitive of me.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
talk
but
about
it's not
something
Russian
else then, alright?
それは
別にいいけど。
Fine. I looked around. As I saw Yasunagu-kun walk upstairs, I lowered my voice and asked,
君にとってモッチーはどんな存在だったんだ
What was Mochi to you?
なんで聞くの？
Why are you asking?
お葬式代わりだよ
To make up for his lack of funeral?
お葬式では亡くなった人のことを話すだろう死者の
In
思い出を話す
funerals,
ことは
you talk about the people who passed away, right? I remember hearing that gives their souls peace.
なんか意外。
This is unexpected.
何が
What is?
もっと血も涙もない人だと思ってたから。供養とかそん
I
なの
thought you were
言い出す
cold
と
and
思わなかった
heartless. I didn't think I'd hear something about peace in the afterlife from you. That was just rude.
野里の子だったけど、選ぶった感じじゃ全然なかった。
Mochi wasn't a Nosato, but he never acted like he was better than anyone.
すっごく変だったし、知恵姉と同じくらいいろんな
He
問題
was
を起こした
weird
けど
and as much of a troublemaker as Chiene, but he never hurt anyone.
みんなはモッチーのこと頭おかしいって言
Everyone
ってた
said
け
he
ど
wasn't right in the head,
私はそうは思わない。
but I didn't think so.
とっても面白い人。多分テレビとかに出て
He was really
大活躍する
funny.
ようなのが
I think he would have been really popular if he appeared on TV.
一つ上だったけど、ほとんど同い年の友達
He
み
was
たい
1
に接
year
してくれ
older
たし
than me, but he treated me like someone his own age.
楽しかったわよ。
I always had tons of fun with him.
兄ちゃんもすごく仲良かった
He
し
got along really well with Nichan too.
そんなに
He did? Yeah,
いつも一緒にいたし
they were always together, and they were like a pair of heroes in school.
時々横にいて寂しくなるくらい
They got along so well that I sometimes felt lonely with them. Her visage dimmed. I felt like she was easier to understand than most. If Mochi had really liked her, it must have been a tough love. She hadn't even looked at him in that regard. And being with Yasunaga-kun even made him a target of her jealousy.
でも彼はもういない
But he's gone
安
now.
永君は辛いだろうな
Yasunaga-kun must feel terrible.
うん
Yeah.
彼を手伝ってあげた
Why not help him out? Yasunaga-kun was going up the stairs again. I gestured at him with my chin.
なんかお手伝い中っぽいしちえみちゃんはそう
He's
だし
doing something for his mom. And Chiami-chan's outside.
君はモッチーの代わりにはなれないかもしれないしそこに立つべきはちえみちゃんなのかもしれないが
I don't think you can replace Mochi. And Chiami-chan's probably the best person for the job.
最後に
But
決める
even
のは
if they are the
彼らだと
ones
して
who'll make the final
それまで
decision,
してあげたいことを我慢する必要は
there's
ないんじゃ
no
ないか
reason to hold yourself back in the meantime. Right?
助けになりたいとは
You want to help
思うん
him,
だろ
don't you?
うん
Yeah.
あなたも
You too?
まあ
Well,
彼女には一食一杯以上の恩がある
Chiami
からね
gave me way more than just a place to stay and a meal.
下心がないとは言わないが
I won't say I don't have any ulterior motives, but more than just that. I just want to support her.
彼女は僕には見えないものに
She seems to be suffering at the hands of things I can't even comprehend.
やっぱりあなたのこと誤解してたかも。
Yeah, I think I misunderstood you. Wow, look what happens when you just make blind assumptions about people.
仕方ないよ。
I can't blame you. Are you going?
うん。
Yeah,
昨日のこと
I still need to apologize for yesterday.
じゃあ僕も外へ。
Then I'll go outside too. We stood up at the same time. Though Haru-chan was always on edge deep inside, she was a really honest girl. I worried that she'd fall victim to some scumbag like me down the road. Oh,
何？
what?
やっぱりあなたは
Maybe you should really run away.
いや
Never mind.
なんでもない。
Forget I said anything. She cut herself short and hurried upstairs. Apparently, I'd gained some of her trust. But it did look like I could get anything more useful than that bit of advice. And like the other inhabitants, she just believed that escape was possible. That was why she tried to do it yesterday. That might have been the extent of it.
それで誰が怪しいと思う？
Dun dun dun. Do I keep going or do I stop? Do I keep going or do I stop? Oh, I should stop. I should stop! I have to go to work in the morning, and if I don't go to bed soon, I won't get enough sleep, and I didn't sleep enough yesterday anyway. Ah! Why do we have to be adults? Why do we have to do work and stuff? Why can't I be a full-time streamer and just read visual novels for 6 hours? Raging Roop will wait for us. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, and we're still on chapter 3. Oh wow. We haven't even hit the point yet where they said they would appreciate if people stop making videos. Wow. They weren't kidding when they said they gave a lot of space, like a lot of time. All right. Okay. Okay, it hurts my soul. But we'll stop here. God. We'll see how my throat is tomorrow. I hate to stop in the middle. I wanted to at least get to the next feast, but it took way longer than I thought it would. Womp womp womp. I usually space out these longer streams where I end up reading all of the dialogue just for the sake of being safe and not ruining my voice, especially since tomorrow I have to report on site to the apothecary and people might actually speak to me today as opposed to today where I barely say a word except to like Rumi-chan. But we'll see how I feel. My throat feels fine, like I could actually keep going, but it's just, you know, being responsible. Match. Oh well. This is what I get for playing a game like this on a Monday. But I didn't think I could wait until like, you know, Friday or Saturday or something. Oh well, alright. That'll be it for me. We're playing things a little fast and loose with the schedule this week because of my new job and stuff, so I'm not sure like what days I'm gonna be too tired to participate. I know I'm taking Friday off to hang out with Iduna, so that's for sure a break day. Unless I get home and I'm like really desperate for company or something like that. And I'm like, Bluesky! But we will see. For now, Toko is playing more Bloodborne. So let's go see Toko. Let's go see Toko. Hime is also... Oh, thank you, Zon. And if you don't want to go watch Toko play Bloodborne, out of our usual suspects, Leah Bell is playing Sonic Riders. And Hime is playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which I heard has gotten some decent reviews, but apparently it's not as robust as Animal Crossing, which I mean, makes sense. But yes, I will send you guys off to Toko. Otherwise, y'all are free. So many good choices, right? This is why I usually try and go, I'm like, who haven't I rated in the past week? Toko? Okay. Alrighty. That's gonna be it from me. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. I will give a think about whether I want to try and push for 2 visual novel days in a row. We shall see. I can do it with Danganronpa because Danganronpa has fully voice-acted segments. And others, and when I'm investigating, I don't have to read everything. So it's a little easier, but we will see. But for now, that's it for me. Time to go feed the cats before they eat my toes or something. Alrighty. If it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a good rest when you head on off to bed. And until next time, take care of yourself. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat good food. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye.